welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, we have multiple ways we can be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those who need instant gratification, and the show's Twitter feed is at SKiMPod, SKIMPOD.
Stays Crunchy.
For the more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again being spelled with a K.
Crunchy.
Hey, feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
We're available by Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, anywhere fine podcasts are available. And of course, at the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share wherever possible, including on YouTube, where we can now be found at Stays Crunchy. And over on Twitch, where we're still Stays Crunchy and Milk. Our personal Twitters are
Tatum216,
Lunchbox2099,
The Real ODP.
And I'm your host, the Internet's Tayrell713.
Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy.
I was always taught my do's and don'ts. For do's, I did, and for don'ts, I said I won't. I'm from Brooklyn, a place where stars are born. Streets are shot up. Apartment buildings are torn and ripped up, stripped up, shacked up, and backed up. From fiends cause the bosses on the scene, they get cracked up. Kids are slinging in my lobby. Little Steve and Bobby. Getting paid, but it's a life-threatening hobby. Yeah, they still play hide and seek. The fiends seek for the crack and they hide and let the cops peek. Grown folks, they say they should be on their own before the gangs come and blow up their mom's home. Because the lifestyle was hectic, so fucking hectic. Pow, bullets are rejected. My lifestyle was so far from well. Could have wrote a book with a title, Age 12 and Going Through Hell. Then I realized the plan. I'm trapped in a deadly video game with just one man. Over here ahead of myself. So I don't only watch my back, I watch my front. Because it's the niggas who front, they be pulling stunts. Back on the Ave of Lavona and Bristol with a pistol. Sticking up Pamela and Crystal. You know your town is dangerous when you see the strangers. Kid come home from doing a bid and nothing changes. What is the meaning of crime? Is it criminals robbing innocent motherfuckers every time? Little shorties take a walk to the schoolyards, trying to solve the puzzles to why is life so hard. Then as soon as they reach the playground, blow, shots ring off. Now one of them lay down. It's so hard to escape the gunfire. I wish I could rule it out like an umpire, but it's an everlasting game. And it never ceased to exist, only the players change. So, I got your back, but you best to watch your front, because it's the niggas in front. They be pulling studs. Hello, welcome to it. It Stays Crunchy Milk. It's episode 428, and we out here, Shibuya. I'm joined by my best friend, Tatum216.
Heidi ho, neighbors.
It's Lunchbox2099.
Some call me the Neo of COVID.
And it's the RV in Puerto Rican, the real ODP, my homeboy Gabe.
Broadcasting from the free state of Florida.
I don't know what to do with that. So I'm the Internet Tayrell713. I'm your host. I do this shit every week. You know what it is. We are remote, which means remote rules apply. We do a little news. We do a little chat about how our lives are going. It's real simple, you know what I'm saying? We do a little am I the asshole, we get the fuck on out of here. It's gravy. And so let's hit the news channels, right? Hit the news board right quick and get to it. This is from the Independent. Trick Krim writes there, as far as I remember. No, he no longer writes there. He left. Sorry. Some of y'all got that. Could cannabis help fight COVID? New study reveals 2 chemicals that may block infection. The reason I chose this article is the best written one about this shit that was not so seemingly salacious and just like saying, we'll stop the disease. And I'm like, no, I need the science behind this. And this particular article presents the science.
I believe the science behind it is smoke weed every day.
I think everybody's wrong here. The real science is what I keep on hearing is why nobody who smoked crack ever got COVID yet.
A non-psychoactive compound found in live cannabis plants could help sabotage the spike protein on coronaviruses, scientists have found. This is by E.O. Dodds. This man's name is E.O. I.O. So I want I.O. E.O. Dodds. A chemical found in live cannabis plants could help protect human cells against coronavirus infections, research suggests. A study by scientists at the Oregon State University and Oregon Health and Science University found that two acids present in hemp, a type of cannabis plant used widely in cloth paper and as a drug, were able to jam the gears of the virus that causes COVID-19. The researchers said the two compounds combine onto the SARS-CoV-2 virus spike protein, which it uses to invade and commandeer human cells, and which gives the coronavirus family its name. However, the compounds probably cannot be consumed by any of the traditional methods of taking cannabis as a drug, meaning they would have to be harvested separately to make a specific medicine. These cannabinoid acids are abundant in hemp and in many hemp extracts, said lead author Richard Van Bremen of OSU's Global Hemp Innovation Center. They're not controlled substances like THC, the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana, and have a good safety profile in humans. And our research shows that hemp compounds are equally effective against variants of SARS-CoV-2. The study, published in the peer-reviewed Journal of Natural Products on Monday, examined numerous plant extracts such as red clover, wild yam, hops, and licorice for potential affinity with the COVID spike protein. The spike protein is a microscopic structure protruding from the body of the virus, featuring a chemical receptor sites that have evolved to bind onto the outer parts of human cells. If another chemical binds to those receptors, it can block them, making them useless. The two compounds that work best were cannabigyrolic, wowzers, that's a word, acid known as CBG-A, and cannabidolic acid known as CBDA, both precursors to the better-known chemicals in cannabis drugs. The former exists only while the cannabis plant is growing, while the latter is converted into CBD, one of the key ingredients in recreational and medicinal cannabis, through burning, vaping, or baking. The chemicals work well against both the alpha and beta variants of the coronavirus, raising the prospect that they might also function against Omicron and other mutations. Our data shows CBDA and CBGA are effective against the two variants we looked at, and we hope the trend will extend to other existing and future variants, said Mr. Van Bremen. And that is the story. So how long before CBD stores start claiming, take this to help fight COVID, even though we know, I just read y'all what the deal is, and it definitely ain't that.
Well, I started during the pandemic last year. I started taking a little bit of hemp oil and putting it in my oatmeal for dietary reasons, and maybe that's why I haven't had much sickness going on with me.
Right on. Well, we will find out eventually.
And all the crack I've been smoking. So.
And all the crack, of course. We don't want to sleep on the crack.
And all the crack.
And all the crack you can give me. I just found that to be interesting. And again, I'm always it's funny to me how much we have been kind of fucked over by the when they made hemp and cannabis illegal in this country and around the planet, because they followed suit. They're like, America says it's illegal, let's all say it's illegal. Because we could have been studying this shit this whole time and been using it for so much this whole entire time. And
those damn jazz cigarettes.
It's always something comes up and it says, oh yeah, this shit is it's great for this, it's great for that. It keeps turning out to be great for so many things. And how interesting that prohibition fucked us for so long. And technically to this day, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we are doing some research with it, but in reality, it is still not federally legal. So that's what's up. This is from the good people over at Scene. Ant sent this one to me. I thought it was pretty funny. Some favorite vanity license plates that Ohio rejected in 2021. One is hello, and another is pork in it. Allison Bobka posted this story on Scene, is how they describe it. Posted. I don't know if that means that they wrote it, but whatever. The Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles recently released a list of the 827 vanity plate applications that it had rejected in 2021. That's because there are rules regarding vulgarity, hate speech, racism, general decency that guide the department as they give a thumbs up or thumbs down to submissions. Here's how the process works. Each year, thousands of Ohioans submit vanity license plate requests to the Ohio BMV, and most are approved. However, it's the job of the 7-person Special Plates Review Committee, Jesus, with the help of the internet, thanks Urban Dictionary, and a database of previously rejected plates to weed out the harmless from the not okay for road consumption. All right. Last year, many of the rejected plates referred to politics, including many variations of "fuck Biden" from right-leaning Ohioans, or bodily functions. The BMV did not permit references to butts, cutting, "I ate ass," axe hole, and ass man, perhaps a nod to Seinfeld. The agency also denied breast references like tits out, boobies, and titties. Penises apparently don't belong on license plates either, with the BMV denying nice cock, lil peen, and small pee.
They sound like all my aliases.
Also, no, excuse me, say goodbye to toilet jokes. The BMF didn't want full shitter or pee time. There was no room for romance as the BMV rejected MILF lover,
Sorry.
anal sex, pussy power, pork in it, come for me, and bend over. And nobody was allowed to be AF as fuck anything. Pagan AF, thick AF, and smooth AF were all denied. In October, Ohio unveiled a new license plate design that hilariously included a backwards airplane to the delight of Twitter users. The plane has since been fixed and went into circulation at the end of December.
Get the fuck out of here.
So I only reason I am even a little bit hip to the whole vanity plate thing is my kid has a vanity plate. He asked for one for his car early in the process, and I was like, if you can get that car up and running, and it can pass the e-check, I got you. And he did both those things. He caught me so excited when he passed that e-check because he went to what is known to be an easy pass out in there's an automated e-check machine out in North Railton that seems to pass just about anything. So he went out there and indeed it did work, and his car passed e-check, and I was like, fair enough, champ. So he has a personalized plate on his car, and I had to laugh at it because it's a very cool plate. Here, I'll tell you what the plate says, and I'll edit it out the shows so motherfuckers can't be coming from my child. But his plate says that's the name of his car because it's shaped like a fucking. He says the Volvo is shaped like a. And they asked, they was like, "What's that mean?" I go, "It's literally shaped like a." You can come out here and look at it right now. They want to look at the car, and they're like, and okay, apparently it got past the review committee there, who did not find it offensive, even though some might.
But I don't appreciate their lack of allowing truth in advertising with Little Peen and Small Peen getting disallowed.
So my man Seth Macy, who's been on the show before, lives in Maine, and Maine is very cool with you putting whatever basically you want on your license plates. For a minute there, my man had a Wario plate, a license plate that said Wario. He had one that said "fuck yourself," but it was spelled in a real fun way. I think it was like FUK yourself, and so forth. So these are plates that like he no longer has. So I'm not tripping off of it, but. Yeah, he got that state just be letting it walk.
Didn't get away with weenus?
I'm sorry, what weenus?
Yeah,
I wonder, like, could you like, kind of put up a fight? You be like, I'm not lit as F. I'm Air Force. I'm lit Air Force. What are you talking about?
You gonna deny a man of the military?
I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, this is my service. I'm Harry Air Force.
How many digits do you need, like, for your vanity plate? Is it 7?
I think 7 is your max. So you got some wiggle room.
So I could submit no masks.
I mean, sure. See what happens.
Nice.
I'm gonna go with "Mask Off." You know what I'm saying in the Future song.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah, so could go with anything. You'd be like, I love that song. It's great. This one is super brief because it's not really a story. It's more of a, hey, this guy made this video. But again, this aunt sent me this one. It's pretty good. Shay Diddy over at 106.1 K-Mail, number one for hip hop and R&B. I don't know where K-Mail is located. I guess
I'll look it up while you talking.
Man makes diss track about his baby's mom, shoots music video at her job. The hate is real. Ohio rapper Gooch Galore made a diss track about his baby mama. Then he takes his petty behavior to the next level by shooting the music video at her job in McDonald's. You can, if you were so inclined, watch below. And in fact, I will try to. Here, let me open it. I have to open it in YouTube, and I will email you guys the link to the video. Well, Anthony already has it, but that way, because I know the chat sometimes doesn't agree with Gabriel's computer. So,
all right. Well, that was the old computer.
Oh, you know what? Hey, bro. Then you know what? I'm always down to try. You let me know how this goes.
It's Worcester.
K-Mail? K-M-E-L?
K-L-O. Give me that. What is it again?
K-M-E-L. Like K should be across the Mississippi. It's just how normally this shit works.
Oh, it is? I didn't know that.
It's either across Mississippi or on the other side of the Rockies, if I'm not mistaken. One of those is the line of delineation where you start getting different letters at the front of your stations, unless they are old stations. Because some very old stations still have their old letters.
K-Mail seems to be San Francisco, so I don't know if they picked it up.
All right, yeah. Number one for hip hop and R&B in the Yay area. Very cool.
All right, question for the show. Well, especially the two hip hop heads. How do you feel about diss tracks?
How do you only put that on us?
Head, yes.
Why is it head? Like who picked head as the part of the body? Like is there other like fascinations out there that like correspond to other parts of the body, like sneaker foots? I'm a sneaker foot. Why is everything gotta be a something head? Like
it does have to be something head, yeah.
Huh. A question for the ages.
I don't know.
Like I'm a booty mouth.
a booty mouth?
There's your show title. I'm a booty mouth.
I don't know if that'll pass.
For right now, it remains your alternate title. I'm a booty mouth.
You think I get that as a Vanity play booty mouth?
I don't think that one will pass.
Too many letters.
All right, Daniel, from the good people at Quora. How did the practice of suffixing the word head after fans of a particular something, deadheads, potheads, etc., originate?
Head.
This is by Jonathan Green, who is a lexicographer, which is a dope-ass name of title. Man, I want to be a lexicographer. I'm a lexicographer, and established etymologies is a central part of making the dictionary. As listed in my database, the use of head as a suffix has progressed in this way. As well as referring to some examples of each use, I offer some lesser known ones where possible, though not in section 2, the earliest here. Used in a variety of combs in which heads is linked to create a term with negative personal meaning, often fool or idiot. The implication that is the head in question is shaped like or otherwise resembles the noun. Also, less frequently used with adjective, e.g. airhead. Example include blockhead, bonehead, cabbage head, dickhead, egghead, meathead, pinhead, pointy head, and shithead.
No knucklehead?
Not in that one.
How about head?
What does everybody want?
Used in various combinations to mean a fan or devotee of a particular thing, e.g. certain type of music. Example includes chiphead, hoghead, metalhead, petrolhead. It is to this group that the brand name terms, e.g. deadhead and potterhead, I've never heard that.
Never heard of cabbage head either.
Belong.
You cabbage head motherfucker.
I think I heard a lot of people being called cabbage head before to make fun of people.
Hmm.
You know what? That just basically says what the dictionary definition is. It doesn't tell me how he got there. I'll have to research that further and see if I can come with you, get you an answer. Box, you presented a fine question to the class, and I would like an answer to it.
But
Okay.
what was the question? Oh, the question I was going to ask. What's the point of diss tracks if the person can't respond back? That's like punching down.
It's not really a diss track. They just that I'm gonna go with that the K-Mail write up was made a little more salacious by saying it's a diss track. It's just a song about them dude's baby mom.
I mean, it's
Miss Jackson. Oh, that's about the baby mama's mama.
It's been a couple diss tracks that about people who like either weren't rappers or it was about family members or I guess Eminem
Moby,
was the best at
you
that.
can get stomped by Obi.
Yeah, because he dissed his mother several times, his ex-wife, Mariah Carey, Nick Cannon. Like he just went after everybody. So
I can hear Nick Cannon responding back though.
As we sit here in this general area of discussion, how do y'all feel about Eminem as a rapper?
I feel like after he got clean, his music started to suck, and then, I like his maybe first 3 or 4 albums, but then after that, it's like, it takes a lot to stay hungry when you're a millionaire.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of where I am with Eminem. People love Eminem and swear that he the GOAT, and I'm just like, we on this matter we disagree. And
I feel like Eminem's the GOAT to certain people because of the color of his skin.
Exactly.
I feel like after a certain point, he could rap fast or stuff like that and do some different things, but his content just, like I said, it just didn't speak to me anymore after a while. It's like, I don't want to hear about drugs and killing Kim anymore. I'm good. And then after that, you're not even talking about drugs and stuff anymore. You're just talking about killing Kim.
Like, in the beginning, a lot of his shit was real weird. Like the shit that I got exposed to on MTV felt like it was just made to be on MTV. And so I didn't take it too seriously. And then Guilty Conscience, a couple of things came out and they were kind of thought provoking and interesting. Then he had some shit in the middle when he was really fucking drugged up that he himself has even admitted was fucking trash. And then he got clean-ish, and some of it was all right. I like some of the stuff that came out, but I haven't listened in a very long time, and I would be the first one to admit that I'm in no way an expert on this subject where I would feel comfortable making a firm stance on in any way, shape, or form. But if I had to take a guess, I would guess that he's not quote unquote the greatest, but I'm also ill-equipped to make that assertion.
See, Dan is exactly right about a few things. Eminem, his albums always had a formula. He always had the MTV song on each, even from the beginning. It's I think he this is my dance song. That's him talking on the track, and even every year on those albums, it was the same woman singing on those tracks. But like I said, it was just the first album was very weird. He was using drug lingo, and I feel I was 17 when the first album came out. And I was like, man, I don't know what any of these things are he's rapping about. I don't know what shrooms are. I don't know,
yeah, it was 99, 2000, something like that, 98?
It was 98, 99.
Yeah,
And
because I
like
think I was still in middle school when it was like hitting TRL and shit like that.
yeah, I wasn't even going to listen to him because everybody's like, man, his album is great. And then like my best friend, like we was playing like NBA Live and shit in this room, and he was playing it, and I was like, it's some good songs on here. And like God, I think Brain Damage was the song that really got me. Like, cause that song was really, really clever. Like my friend was like, "Do you get it? He's Frankenstein." I was like, "Okay, I guess, man. I guess."
I mean,
Wasn't
I've never.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. I've never owned an Eminem album. I mean, I've heard them. I just never like said this is for me. I didn't like My Name Is. I just
Yeah,
didn't. It's the first song I was exposed to him by him, and he had to overcome me not liking that song.
yeah, it's crazy. Like, I'm not gonna even say just with Eminem, but like with most albums, especially growing up, the singles and stuff, a single had to be really good in order for me to like it. I was always the type of dude that's like, no, man, I don't want to hear a single. I want to hear I know I'm stealing this from The Office. I don't want to hear any singles. I want to hear some deep cuts. Like it was always about what else was on the album and not the single. Like
Exactly.
when
which
it
is
came to
which is interesting to me because, like I said, the first Eminem song I was like, "Yo," was a song when he was rapping over a Soul Caliber track. It was like him and like Master Ace and somebody else, and that shit was like, I was like, "Oh, okay, that kid can really spit." And of course, everybody else is like, "Hi, my name is." I'm like, "No, this is not what's popping with this dude." Yes,
yeah,
that's a fun track, I guess.
But that, yes, and that, but that's what drew most of us in because, like, me being in middle school, I wasn't like into like underground rap or looking for that kind of shit. Like, I was watching TV, and
yeah,
MTV played "Hi, My Name Is." That's how I knew him, is that fucking weird dude that like raised his voice to that high pitchy tone and did wacky shit. And then he had like Real Slim Shady, which was more of that wacky dress up in characters and make fun of people shit. And like Curtain Call got a little more serious, with like Mockingbird and all that kind of shit, toy soldiers and stuff, which I felt like was more of a like when he started to kind of turn a little bit away from that,
the
like,
wackiness.
yeah, the wacky drug addled sounding weird fucked up dude to like more of a serious person, but with still some humor to it, at least in comparisons. But yeah, like it got like kind of crappy there in the middle, and I turned off a little bit, and then
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
he really. That's another thing that you remind me of. He really, really steered away from that sense of humor and those tongue in cheek bars. Like maybe that is kind of where he lost me because, and I'm not talking about like Slim Shady or My Name Is, but like the other songs, like like I Never Meant to Give You Mushrooms, Girl, where no, I'm sorry, it's called My Fault. Where it's like he's having fun with it, and that song would never be a single, but it was hilarious. Um, like I was surprised when not Brain Diamonds, but what's song with him and Dr. Dre on the first album?
Guilty Conscience.
Yeah, Guilty Conscience. I was very surprised when that became a single. So much so that that song is very, very far away from the album version. Like the single version is very different, which is not surprising because they wanted it to be more of a MTV appeal.
But the thing about it too is it's like there's such graphic content in that song.
Hmm.
Like that's how I can't believe it was ever a TV single. Just because when you listen to the material, it's like talk about date rape and
Yeah,
fucking robbery and murdering your wife.
man. I no lie, I was singing it to myself like because like I said, I do like that song, and I was just thinking about it like, ain't you ever seen that one movie, Kids? No, but I seen the porno with Son Dubious. It's like, man, do you ever want to get hauled off to jail? Nah, fuck that shit. Hit that shit raw dog and bail. It's like they blanked out most of that song. Like
Yeah.
Um, man, times like that was only like 20 years ago, but shit.
But see,
You can't say
they
that shit no
tapped
more.
they tapped into
What?
that fucking wacky character that he played in those earlier songs. Because when they were playing the video, Dre was the serious guy, and Eminem was the fucking like strung out, wacky
He's the
devil on your
comfortability.
shoulder. Yeah.
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 So like, even though they were rapping about serious shit, he was fucking yucking it up and joking around like it wasn't nothing, no big deal, and yada yada yada.
Yeah, what made
It's
me
like
think of
people.
it was the dude who narrated that video was the dad off of with like I guess like the grandfather off of Everybody Loves Raymond. It's funny how like my brain just like moves and shifts. Like I'll think about one thing. I thought about Danny Tanner dying this week, which made me think of that dude. I was like, I wonder if he's still alive, which made me think of that video. Man, I just be playing 6 degrees of separation in my head all the
Yeah,
time.
the line to get you there. I just always felt like people were like, "Oh my God, here's a white MC who could stay in the pocket if he so chooses." Sometimes Eminem be just rapping all off over here, but he can stay in the pocket. He can rap about more serious shit. And like before that, we didn't really have too many white rappers to pull that off. It was fucking Third Base, who was pretty dope, but very New York. And we had Milk Bone, who was pretty dope, but very New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know if anybody remember Milk Bone like I do.
I mean, if we're being honest, like Eminem became like the great white hope for like a group of people who weren't widely accepted into that music genre. Like he kind of like was like our door.
Very interesting that you say that because white people have been down with hip hop pretty much since day one. Like the first like popular hip hop song goes "Rapper's Delight" is of course using a sample from a white group that was super into rapping.
I think there's a difference though between like being a fan of or enjoying and being allowed to partake.
No, that's the point. I'm saying she like I'm saying Good Times. They literally rapped along with that. It was like they were a part of it. It's like from
But
the beginning.
I'm not necessarily saying for black people. I'm saying for white people.
I'm saying those people were white people.
No, what I'm saying is it was a gateway for white people to be in, like to allow themselves to be in.
Oh,
Yeah.
they didn't think they had a door, and they was like, it turns out white people have been there the whole time, and maybe y'all just didn't know about it. Because I know you didn't know about it because MTV didn't tell y'all about it.
Yeah, think of like the suburban families and stuff that like they grew up with like fucking 80s hair metal and shit. Those kids, like me, you know, like I got exposed to some things just because of the neighborhoods that like I went to school in. But like most kids, like would have been my situation, would never have been to expose something like that. So when they see someone like Eminem on TV doing like rapping and doing stuff that they're not accustomed to, it opens up some more eyes and kind of like brings more people into a genre that like society would not have let them into otherwise due to their surroundings.
Hey, young black teenagers walked so Eminem can run.
For real, for real. Like I said, people don't know about young black teenagers, Long Island's finest. Oh my gosh, bro! It's like it's so many like it was so many white rappers and white rap groups
Like-
and shit that I was aware of.
Like think about like before that, who would have been the white group for white people? Beastie Boys,
Beastie Boys, yeah, Beastie Boys, Third
And,
Base,
like,
of course.
and they had that same kind of corniness to them that Eminem came out of the gates with at first.
At first,
You know?
very much so. Yes, that their first album. So I mean, like so Beastie Boys technically started as a punk group, and then they dropped their rap album. You know what I'm saying? And then their next album after that was a little more. They kind of fell into the lane that you know the Beastie Boys as.
Mhm.
But I always appreciated white rappers who was putting in work. Putting in like not trying to be comedic, not trying to be goofy. Because I was like, I felt like, okay, these people are respecting the craft that I fuck with. And so I was, like I said, that's how I was listening. And I know it just seems like I'm on mode. I look at me, the hipster of hip hop, but I mean, I really am. I've been around for a very long time. And so I fuck with LP and when from his first group, which is whose name is just not going to come to me because right when I needed to talk about it. Company Flow, forgive me. So I fuck with LP from Company Flow forward, and so Company Flow takes me to Run the Jewels with little to no effort. And like so, me fucking with LP and company flow gets me to Aesop Rock, which gets me to Atmosphere, which gets me to any number of white rappers who I've been fucking with this whole time. And so it always makes me just kind of like, I have to, giggle a little bit that I'm like, people who were not into hip hop like I am, and especially underground shit like I am, just didn't know about these dudes, or maybe they did or whatever. So like so we're up to like Jack Harlow. I fuck with Jack Harlow. I've been fucking with Jack Harlow. My son always laughs because he said, "Man, you put me on the Jack Harlow, Dad." And now Jack Harlow's wildly popular. You know what I'm saying? He's a super popular kid, and it's like I like that I was down with him. I guess his more underground shit ahead of the rest of the people. But now he's just like, he's wildly popular, so he just does his own thing. Machine Gun Kelly used to rap. Now, I don't know any of Machine Gun Kelly's work at this point, but now he's more of a sing-songy guy. Yellow Wolf used to rap, and now he's more country music, which I'm like, wow, that really took a turn. But that's also something I also have noticed.
That name sounds familiar. Yellow Wolf. Is it got like a TikTok song or something?
I don't, maybe, but he's from Alabama. He's been around for a very long time. But I also noticed that a lot in music, even as I've grown. It's like you'll have these people come in, white people. I'm gonna just be real with you, and they'll be doing music of a certain genre, like Pink. We'll use Pink for example. Pink came in on saying, "There you go," doing some real poppy R&B shit, but then immediately leaned more, I guess, poppy rock. More pop rock is where Pink ended up taking her shit too. And a lot of people would do that shit. They come in, my man Everlast from House of Pain. That's another white rap group. Became Whitey Ford sings the blues. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was always like these cats who came into and got accepted and popularized by black people, and then they'd immediately go make what maybe some would consider more traditional white music. And I was like, what the fuck happened to you, bro? You was beautiful. You left you left what got you the fucking job.
Well, he went from black music to black music, though. I mean, if he was singing the blues.
I mean, that song was popular. That
he went from he went from wearing black to black, but he was reaching for another audience. So
yeah, so it was always I will admit that was always bothersome to me that when people would do that, it's like bro, you got here by us, you know what I'm saying? Like, continue forward. So like, which is also weird because, like I said, that's why I always, even though people be like, I don't fuck with that dude, he was such a faker, is why I fucked with Snow so hard, because Snow was an honest to God. Everything Snow said he was on them albums, that motherfucker was. Trust me, he went to jail for you know what I'm saying, a murder situation, and it's not a joke. And it's like, I always is like, okay, you out here really that keeping it really real kind of situation. And so I always put some respect to my man Snow's name, even though people was like, look at this fake. Like Jim Carrey had a whole bit on Living Color called Imposter, because he must be faking. Jim Carrey himself was from Toronto, which means he should have known where Snow was from, at least neighborhood wise, and been like, oh, you know what? He does live in the Jamaican area town, I'm saying, and so forth and so on. He probably was associated with these people and so forth. It's like, come on, bruh.
And I'm laughing because I just saw that Jim Carrey video on Instagram like 2 weeks ago.
Oddly enough, Jim Carrey lived on that side of town too, and worked in that side of town. Yeah, and he worked with his whole family. Like Jim Carrey grew up poor. And at night, him and his whole family cleaned office buildings.
Yeah.
With Jamaicans. And he was saying how like he remembered the worst thing you can say is talk about pussy or say the word pussy around them. And he used to say it on purpose to get him mad.
What offended him about the word pussy so bad?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a whole thing about how they refuse to go down on their women. Like, it's just like, it is a bar none rule. Like, no.
Jesus Christ. Well, that literally was not unplanned. My apologies. We really pulled left there. Let me get this one last news story and we'll keep it moving. The only reason I want to do this one is because January 6th shit gets really real. This is from the good people of Cleveland.com. This is actually from the AP. Cleveland County Home just posted it up. Ohio bartender among Oath Keepers militia members charged with seditious conspiracy in January 6th attack. This is from today, January 13th. And Stuart Rhodes, the founder and the leader of the far-right Oath Keepers militia group, has been arrested and charged with seditious conspiracy in the attack on the United States Capitol, authorities said Thursday. So what this varies from is from people who've been getting charged with loitering or breaking and entering, or just bullshit misdemeanor charges. Sedition and seditious conspiracy is one of the ones that you can do 20 plus years for. And I think if you can get your actual sedition charge, they can literally kill you over sedition. You know what I'm saying? That's one of them old school charges in U.S. Code that holds to this day. So that's why it's a big deal. They're actually hitting these motherfuckers with seditious conspiracy charges. 10 other people were also charged with seditious conspiracy in connection with the attack on January 6, 2021, when authorities said members of the extremist group came to Washington intent on stopping the certification of President Joe Biden's victory. There are the first charges of seditious conspiracy, and the Justice Department has brought in connection with the attack led by supporters of former President Donald Trump. Rhodes, 56, of Granbury, Texas. Edward Vallejo, 63, of Phoenix, Arizona, were arrested on Thursday. The others who were charged, including Jessica Watkins, a 39-year-old bartender from Woodstock, Ohio, were already facing criminal charges related to the attack. Rhodes is the highest-ranking member of an extremist group to be arrested in the deadly siege. The arrest of Rhodes and the others is a serious escalation of the accusations against the thousands of rioters who stormed the Capitol. And the charges answer in the part a growing chorus of Republicans who have damn it, Gabe, you pulled me off when you sipped on that cup, man.
Sorry, I try to get my money's worth when I come to get to drinks.
The charges in part of a growing chorus of Republicans who have publicly questioned the seriousness of the January 6th insurrection, arguing that since no one had been charged yet with sedition or treason, it could not have been so violent. Rhodes did not enter the Capitol building on January 6th, but is accused of helping put into motion the violence that disrupted the certification of the vote. The Oath Keepers case is the largest conspiracy case federal authorities have brought so far over January 6th, when rioters stormed past police barricades and smashed windows, injuring dozens of officers and sending lawmakers running. The indictment against Rhodes alleges Oath Keepers formed two teams, or stacks, that entered the Capitol. The first stack split up inside the building to separately go after the House and Senate. The second stack confronted officers inside the Capitol Rotunda. The indictment said outside Washington, the indictment alleges the Oath Keepers had stationed two quick reaction forces that had guns in support of their plot to stop the lawful transfer of power. Jonathan Mosley, an attorney representing Rhodes, said his client was arrested Thursday in Texas. He's been subject to a lot of suspicion to why he wasn't indicted so far in the January 6th riot, Mosley said. I don't know if this is in response to those discussions, but we do think it's unfortunate. It's an unusual situation. Mosley said Rhodes was supposed to testify before the House committee investigating the January 6th insurrection in a deposition, but it got called off. He was talking to Rhodes on his phone about the committee when Rhodes was contacted by the FBI. Rhodes said in an interview with right-wing hosts that there was no plan to storm the Capitol and that members who did so went rogue. But he has continued to push the lie that the 2020 election was stolen, while posts on the Oath Keepers website have depicted the group as a victim of political persecution. Authorities have said the Oath Keepers and their associates prepared in the weeks leading up to January 6th as if they were going to war, discussing weapons and training. Days before the attack, one defendant suggested in a text message getting a boat to ferry weapons across the Potomac River to their awaiting arms, prosecutors say. On January 6th, several members wearing camouflage combat attire were seen on camera, shouldering their way through the crowd and in the Capitol in a military-style stack formation, authorities said. I remember seeing that video. You saw dudes in Kevlar helmets and full of vests, their arms on each other like this, like on each other's shoulders as they walked through up into the Capitol, like they was ready to handle business. I remember seeing that video. I didn't realize it was these knuckleheads. Well, but I guess that makes sense. Oath Keepers defendants have argued in court their only plan was to provide security at the rally before the riot or protect themselves against possible attacks from far-left Antifa activists. Rhodes, a former U.S. Army paratrooper and Yale Law School graduate who found the Oath Keepers in 2009, has appeared in court documents in the conspiracy case for weeks as Person 1. Authorities say Rhodes held a go-to meeting call days after the election, telling his followers to go to Washington and let Trump know that the people are behind him. Rhodes said told members they should be prepared to fight Antifa, and that some Oath Keepers should stay on the outside to be prepared to go in armed if necessary. This keeps going from there and so forth and so on. So I won't make you suffer through the rest of this. But
It wasn't supposed to be violent. There were decorative gallows.
What also was interesting is they're starting to subpoena records from Twitter, Instagram, and other social media to support like this second wave of cases, because a lot of people were thinking like, nothing really was going to happen, which at this point, like, they were just getting the people they could get. And now that they're investigating it more and more, like there are going to be more and more serious charges being that's going to stick.
It's on some of that first 48 shit. They catch these other people, charge them with something, lackluster. But they also then start saying, well, I got onto this via this Facebook group. Okay, cool. Now they go investigate that Facebook group. Oh, this Facebook group points over to this particular website and these people are doing this shit. All this is standard criminal fucking, investigation. You keep looking, you keep seeing, you kind of like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And what they discover as they dig deeper is this was way more planned out and way more dangerous than people had any idea. And this shit could have really went sideways. And I'm simply grateful it did not. So that's just what it is, man. And like I said, Sedition used to be we hung motherfuckers, but I guess we can't do that no more. But I'm just looking at you. I'm looking at you sideways, man. But that is it. That is the news of this week. So you know what it is, man. We slide over to my man Ant. We say, hey, man, what's popping, baby? What's going on in your world that you care to share with the listeners, if you care to share anything with the listeners?
Nah, we're about 48 minutes in. I can slide.
Then we bob along to the homeboy Daniel. Daniel, man, what about you, baby?
Family put another dog down today.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, my mom texted me a couple hours ago. The family Basset Hound was put down today. Intestinal cancer. So, starting off 2022 with a bang. Cha-cha-cha-cha.
What's this dog's name? Let's show him some love.
Rest in peace, Peanut.
Fuck yeah. R.I.P.
Everybody's cousin.
Peanut was the guinea pig that passed.
Well, she was also a Basset Hound.
No country for peanuts.
Yeah, like Peanut was like, she was real nice to me. I felt like I wasn't mean to her, but I didn't feel that connection with her like I did the German Shepherd. But I was still nice enough to her where like she would come when I called her, and whenever I'd come over, she seemed genuinely happy to see me. So, it I'm not broken up about it. She was old. Like I saw her when I was there last. Well, all right. I'll be honest. The last time I was at my mom's house was the day my grandmother died. I haven't seen my family since then. But she was clearly getting old. Like her color was turning gray and stuff. So, it's sad, but it was one of those ones where I was like, all right, I saw it coming. But it sucks that she had cancer.
Yeah, for sure.
But otherwise, I got back into eBay selling. I sold something on eBay the other day. But so I scheduled a pickup with the United States Postal Service, right? Testing it out. I wanted to see, obviously I could drive the package to the post office myself. That's not a big fucking deal. But I wanted to test out the service because when I was putting the package together, I have those UPS boxes, those postal service boxes that I got for free, and on the side it had a QR code. It was like, oh, to schedule a pickup, scan this. So I was like, well, let me see what this is about. So I scanned it, and it took me to a page, and it was like, you could schedule to have someone come to your house and pick the package up for free. And I was like, well, shit, if they're gonna come and get it anyway, fuck, I'll see how this works. So I submitted the form and everything yesterday, I'm sorry, I submitted it. No, it was yesterday. And they couldn't come get it yesterday because it's already like the day had already started or whatever. So I had to schedule it for today. So I assumed that like it would be my postal carrier after he dropped off the mail would stop at the house and grab it. So it's not like I haven't been home. Like I work from home. I literally haven't like left my house to go anywhere, and like I left to go to Sam's Club, which is a mile away, like a couple days ago. And other than that, I haven't left my house since Christmas when I was in Green Bay. So it's not like I missed this dude, but so I was in the living room. I logged back onto work after I took my lunch nap, and I watched the postman walk through my grass, probably around 4:00. And then a couple minutes later, I saw him across the street walking back the other way. And then I'm thinking, okay, cool. He's going to go to the end of the street. He's going to get back in the truck. He's going to come down here. He's going to stop. I'm going to give him the package. I was ready, right? And then a couple minutes later, I see the mail truck come down the street, and it just zooms past my house and doesn't stop. So, like, dude never comes. Nobody comes. Like, I've been here this whole fucking time because I had it set up for them to knock on the door. Like, you could set it up to, like, have them pick it up from your porch or whatever. But I'm like, I'm fucking home. Just knock. I'll hand it to them. I'm not leaving the package outside in the elements and or porch thief. Like, I can't afford to have someone porch thief a package that someone just paid me $800 for. So I was like, knock on the door and then I'll hand it. So no one ever knocked. No one ever rang a doorbell. I've been here the whole fucking time. So my one buddy had stopped over and he kind of owed me a favor. So, I mean, like, he kind of does and he kind of doesn't, but, like, I did kind of fucking save him today. So he, in his mind, I owed him a favor. I mean, he owed me a favor. So,
I was laughing because doesn't he always, I mean, you guys are blood brothers at this point. I mean.
Yeah. But so anyway, I found like I heard about the post office over by our airport being open later. Actually, oddly enough, on that Green Bay trip, my one buddy was like talking about it as we drove by, like, oh yeah, this post office over here is open later than the other ones, yada yada yada. I was like, okay. So I filed that away in my memory banks, and then today I was like, let me look into the validity of this. So then I looked, and sure enough, that fucking post office is open till 7. So my one buddy's like, I'll drop that off for you. I owe you anyway. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to fight you on it. So he went and dropped it off, and he sent me the picture of him, like, at the desk with the clerk. And I'm going to say, man, that clerk looked pretty good. I might have to start going to the post office over there a little bit more.
I'm going to tell you a little something, Daniel. I worked at the post office quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few times there, my buddy. Quite a few. And I remember I worked in the morning, like from like 6 to 2 or something like that. And the shift that came in after me, if I worked like a couple hours over, man, they used to come in dressed to the T's. And they used to always be like, why y'all just so nice on this shift? It was like, because as soon as we got off, we go to the club.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, when he sent me the picture and he, like, his caption said, got here on time, package has been delivered. I didn't even notice that it was my fucking package on the counter until like the third time I looked at the picture because my eyes kept going to the clerk lady. But anyway, so that happened around like 6:40, right? So right as I was sitting down to get onto the show with you guys, I got a fucking email from the United States Postal Service. They're like, oh, well, we tried to come get your stuff, but you didn't have the boxes that you said that you were going to have. So if you want to schedule another pickup, I'm like, bitch, I've been here all day. Not a single fucking person tried to knock on my goddamn door. You didn't try to pick up shit. You trying to act like you did, and you closing it without doing the work.
Like, I'm right here the whole time. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I'm like, I watched the dude walk past my house and then drive past it. Like, don't fucking play me. Like, just if you were gonna do it, just say you were gonna do it. Come on now.
Just be real with me, baby. Just be real with me.
Like
Yeah.
you ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to
You ain't
lie.
got to lie. Okay, I need to know what you sold for $800.
I sold 2 Funko Pops.
Are these the greatest Funko Pops that have ever walked the earth?
They were one of them was purchased in your presence.
Oh shit.
They were GameStop exclusives. They were both the same Funko figure. So yeah, fuck it. Like my eBay name is the same as the name I use for everything anyway. So if anyone wants to find me, it's easy enough. So yeah. So what it was is when we went to the GameStop by our old job location prior, back in like 2018, I had bought a Funko Pop of a anime character that was a GameStop exclusive. It was it might not be the one you're thinking of, the Naruto one. I still have that one. I'm going to sell that one, that giant fox. This was a character from the anime Bleach. Yeah, it was Hollow Ichigo. So apparently in the last couple of years, the fact that anime has been widely popular, the fact that it was a GameStop exclusive, and the fact that apparently that Funko Pop is now vaulted, rose that value of that Funko Pop up to the 400s. So I had one from that day that we had stopped into the GameStop next to work. And then maybe within a week of that, I had taken one of my brothers to the GameStop in Steelyard so that they could buy a video game. And when we were in there, I found another one. That one, though, they had the GameStop price sticker on it. So, like, I couldn't get that shit off. But I bought that one, too. And I remember when I bought that one, I took it up to the counter, and they're like, where did you find this at? Because they were like, they thought they were sold out. And it was just on their Funko rack or whatever. Like, it was just sitting there.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting 2 of them because I figured, like, maybe someday I'll open one and display it, or, maybe something like what happened today, or, what happened the last couple of days would happen where it would go up in value and I could sell it. So they just been sitting on my shelf downstairs, doing nothing but collecting dust for the last 4 years. And, I'm trying to be more selective about the shit that I hold on to. And, I can really use the money for other things right now. So I was like, well, let me get back into this eBay game. Plus, I needed something easy to kind of, like, get the ball rolling a bit. Because, like, I used to sell on eBay all the time, like, 5-6 years ago. But I haven't sold shit. And then, like, a couple months ago, me and my buddy were going out sourcing. So I have, like, 2 piles of stuff sitting here that I bought thrifting that I need to list on eBay. So I was like, well, let me get this done because, I've been working on it. And I had gotten the protectors for it, and I know how much they were worth. So I went ahead, and then the other morning, like, I had some time because, like, work's been slow for the last, like, week. We're in our down period. So I went ahead and, like, I kind of cleared off my desk last week over here. Like, I went through, like, my pen cup that, like, work had sent me, and, throughout, like, I tested every fucking pen, threw out all the ones that didn't work. I cleared out all, like, the stuff I was holding on to, like the plastic forks and knives that I would get with fast food. I'm like, I'm at home. I don't need fucking plastic knives and forks. I have silverware in the kitchen. So I cleared all that shit out, and I finally moved some stuff over to where it was supposed to be from over here. And I, like, basically created, like, a little section over here where I could put stuff up against the wall on my desk and take pictures of it for eBay. So I took the pictures of both the items, and I listed them separately because, like I said, the one had a GameStop sticker on it. And plus, I didn't think anyone would want to buy 2 of the same Funko Pop anyway. Like, I bought 2 because I bought them at retail, and I was planning on this day eventually coming, hopefully. And then the day came. I didn't think someone else would want to buy both of them. Maybe, like, they're hoping in 4 years, maybe it doubles in price or something. I don't know. I don't know what this person's thinking, but I had them both listed separately because I felt the one was a little more valuable than the other one, being that the one had the GameStop price tag sticker on it that I couldn't get off. I even tried. I took a hairdryer to it, and I tried to heat up the sticker to maybe get the glue to loosen, and all I did was turn the sticker a different color. It wouldn't come off. And I didn't want to rip it because I didn't want to damage the box. I felt it was better to leave the sticker on than try and tear it off, and all of a sudden there's a tear in the box,
Do you have any goo gone?
Nah, no, I don't think so.
All right, so I found Goo Gone is a very good product for removing stickers in situations. Plus, it's kind of light if you get the right version of it, and you probably hit it with a Q-tip. But who cares? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got it off with the sticker. So.
Yeah, what ended up happening was I listed both of them, and then like in the evening, I was laying down watching TV, and I got like an offer from somebody in Arizona for like the more expensive one. I had it listed for like 430, I think, and they offered me 400, and I was like, when I saw the offer, I was like, well, shit, like. Here's basically I had paid $10.99 for each of them. And then I had $10 protectors on them, like the hard plastic. But I only bought the hard plastic knowing that I was going to sell them. And I figured people would be more willing to buy them if I invested in the hard plastic for shipping and for there to display everything. I figured it was a $10 cost of doing business purchase. So all said and done, I had $42 into them. Yeah. And the guy was offering me $400 for one. I was like, I'd be kind of foolish not to accept an offer that's 10 times my initial cost, plus they'll have one. So I was going to do it. And then, like, he sent me a DM, and he's like, hey, what would you do if I bought both of them? He's like, what can you do? And I was like, how about 800 plus shipping? Because, like, the other one I had listed with the sticker, I had listed for 420. So I would have knocked $50 off the price for both of them. And, I would have been like, all right, cool, take my money and run kind of thing. Then he's like, I'd like to get the other one a little bit less. I was like, all right, whatever, $7.90 plus shipping, plus you pay shipping. So he's like, I'll pay expedited shipping. And I'm just like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, you go get it when you go and get it, like whatever. Like I was asking for $5 shipping on the one and $5 shipping on the other. And it ended up being he paid me $16.50 for shipping. So like I knocked off like that extra 10. And then he still ended up only saving $3.50. So it was like he was haggling with me over nothing really. But anyway, so he accepted. So then what I did was I pulled both of the single listings down, and then I put them up in one listing. I made sure to like put all the pictures up, and then in the description, I made sure to list everything that I listed in the previous two, so that later on he can't come back and claim that like I didn't. Like, cause the one box with the sticker on it also had like a tiny tear on the where the lid would go up and down, because they have those flaps that can like kind of lock in place, and the one had a little tiny tear on it. Even though I never opened them, but like it's not like I was the box's protector from the moment it was made to the moment it got to me. So something happened in between where it got a little tiny tear. So I made sure to disclose that shit. But yeah, he paid me like because the thing was obviously we're on the East Coast. That dude was in Arizona. So I'm getting fucking messages from him, and it's like 9 o'clock at night for him, whereas me, it's fucking after midnight. I'm in bed. So I was like, I wanted to go to sleep, but I also didn't want to like drag it out anymore. So I made sure to get it all done before I went to sleep. So when I woke up the next morning, which I believe was Tuesday, he had already paid. That's right. It was Tuesday. So he paid. So I went ahead and I got all the shipping thing together and, went on. The thing I think I didn't know, because I haven't sold on eBay in, like I said, like 5 years. I didn't know that fucking eBay collects sales tax from the customers now, because I got a notification where it's like, he's paid you $860 some odd fucking dollars. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's not $7.90 plus the shipping. I'm like, what the hell did he send that much for? And then I looked into it. That's why I saw it. It's like eBay is required to collect sales tax for the state of Ohio automatically. Yeah. So that's why it was like so skewed looking. So they took that, and then they took their eBay cut. So all in all, like in the end, after like the eBay took their cut and I paid for the shipped item, because the item I'm out of practice with all this really, because I haven't done it in so long, and also I used to do it a different way. So I wasn't quite sure, like the eBay pricing for the shipping wasn't matching up to the USPS website shipping and all of that. Like I couldn't find like the box size on the fucking drop down on either one. So like eBay at least had it where it was like large box. I mean, like the box I was using was a large box because I had the 2 Funkos in there, and like I couldn't use any of the other boxes because they weren't going to be big enough. So I had to use the large box. So I ended up paying $19.50 for shipping instead of the $16.50 I charged the customer. So he ended up getting $3 out of me. But but yeah, like after eBay fees and shipping, I'm gonna net like $680, which is greatly needed. I might turn around and use that money to buy a 4K TV.
Fair enough.
Like my plan,
Yeah, Super Bowl money.
my plan for the living room is to eventually get a 4K TV and one of those like TV stands that has like the heater in the middle of it.
Yeah. Fuck with that. The ones with like the fireplace.
Yeah, so because
Dig
like
it.
I've been using this TV stand here since we had the apartment. This thing is like 7 years old, and so I figured like Callie doesn't really fuck with the cat tree like Smokey used to.
Yeah.
She
You had been saying he was gonna go.
yeah, so she sometimes will use like the scratching post at the bottom, but I can just buy her a little fucking scratching post, like so I can get rid of the cat tree. That'll clear out that space, and then what I'll probably end up doing is like because the stand I want, I have it on my Amazon wish list, like $350. I'll probably end up grabbing that at some point, and then I'll just wait for like a President's sale or something at like Best Buy, and I'll find like a 4K TV that's on sale. Because right now, if I go to get one, I guess I want to get a 65-inch for the living room. Like I've been rocking this fucking 50-inch, and like I'm kind of like over it now. It was like fine back in the day, but like if I'm gonna be up here all day working with the TV on across the room, like I want something better quality and a little bit bigger. You know, I'm getting older. My eyes don't want to be fucking working hard all the time. And so a 4K 65-inch TV, if I was just to go buy one right now from Best Buy, would be about the same amount of money that I'm getting out of this eBay sale. So theoretically, that could cover the cost of the TV. And then, like, say I have like $80 in a change jar in my bedroom. I could take that to the Coinstar, grab like an $80 Amazon gift card, and then just combine that with like some credit I have built up and shit, and then knock some of the cost of the entertainment stand off. So it's like I'm working towards it. It's like the plan for the living room because I bought that rug. So and I'm thinking about like changing the couch out because the couch is kind of like destroyed a little bit. Some of the springs are busted out and shit from the use over the years. And like I'm kind of thinking about just getting a love seat for the living room at some point. Kind of like open up the space in here a little bit. Because like I don't really entertain in the living room. When other people come over here, it's usually in the basement. So like I don't need a giant 3-seater couch here in the living room. Like a love seat would be fine if I ever have any company. So yeah, I'm just thinking about like buying some new furniture, rearranging around here, and working. This eBay is gonna go towards that for now, and then I'll apply it to other things and whatnot. But it was the gateway listing to get me used to it because like the eBay app changed a little bit since last time I used it for selling. And like the shipping stuff for me has changed since last time, so I had to get used to all this. It's gonna take me a few listings and a few sales before I get kind of comfortable again.
Yeah.
I do though. I do have two more Funkos downstairs, two of the same ones that are worth over $300 each that I'm going to be selling too.
Nice. I'm gonna send you in the chat. I'm gonna see the TV that I want that is currently unavailable on Amazon, but it's this TV I super duper want, and it goes for what does it go for? I feel like it's like going for like $1,200-$1,300 on a Best Buy or something like that, and it's like it's actually time for new TV models kind of start rolling out. So it's actually a good time to be looking at TVs because you get last year's model at a better price.
Yeah, I figured like I would wait until like there's always like a holiday sale at Best Buy. It'd be like, oh, it's fucking National Pie Day. Come get your TVs or whatever. Like I know like President's Day is gonna be coming up. There's always President's Day sales everywhere, and Martin Luther King Day's on Monday. Will have been in the past by the time you hear this, but like I'm not really ready to because that's the thing. I don't have the fucking money yet. eBay's not going to give me the money until that shit gets delivered. And so if it just got mailed out today, the dude's not going to get it until next week probably. So I'm not going to get the money until probably late next week at the earliest.
Yeah, well, this is LG OLED TV, man, and it's like supposed to be just the shit. It does like 120 frames per second. A variable refresh rate for the Xbox, so I can play. A full 120 frame per second on certain games where that shit matters. It's got all the fucking bells and whistles that I want from that I've been wanting for my TV situation. So that is my intent to try to get by either that model or its replacement. It's the newer version of it by year's end. And so I'm hyped about the idea of it. But yeah, that OLED won CNET's best TV of 2021, and it's just like those are the guys I trust with matters TV related. So, but yeah, it's a very nice TV. It's super feature rich, and it's wild skinny. You know what I'm saying? You looking from the side, it's as thick as a pencil, except for toward the bottom where the computer and shit is at. So it's like I'm super excited for it. So that's one of the TVs I'm looking at. It's beautiful. But
yes,
I'm a hype that
I figured I've been using this like 50-inch Vizio for like 7 years now, and
yeah, I remember you got it. You got it when you lived over on the 1 Street. Right?
yeah, like right on the corner from you. And so I figured like it's
Yeah.
time to upgrade. Like TVs have gotten cheap enough now where I can get a 4K TV at a decent price.
Yep. Yeah. So hype. Like I said, you picked, but you are right. You are, as you said, you are the good time for it too. It's a good time to cop a new TV. And man, how goes the house hunt? As we talk about this,
We talk about it all the time, but it's not quite a hunt yet. Like
okay.
We're in our first couple dates. We haven't reached our third date yet.
Very good, very good. I like to just check in to see. I was again as I was editing this the show that went up today. I was like, man, my man been saying this house situation a lot, and that shit could be going down at any moment. I need to be mentally prepared to drive elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like the plan is to buy another house,
Yeah.
and then sell this one after.
Okay.
So we can be at our leisure, moving stuff out of here, and because like in the area we live in, there's a lot of different stuff going on, and the values keeps on going up because of all the stuff they're putting around here. So hopefully we'll get a good amount for it because it's the value already doubled on the house. So
Excellent.
yeah, I mean we just gotta find.
I was gonna say your parcel of land alone is like, you know what I'm saying, it's got to be wildly valued, you know.
Yeah, it's funny. Like the backyard is pretty big. The front yard is big. Um, that's not something we're going to be looking for the next time.
Yeah.
Like as far as like the yard goes, because we live like the creek's pretty much in the back of our house, maybe about 500 to 600 feet, and it's so like our backyard is so like it slopes so much. It's not really like it's a big backyard, and it's not like super functional. So we'll see how it goes for the next hunt. We our wants and needs are so different now.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes its own turn as you know. Now you gotta know, like, okay, well this worked, this didn't work, so forth and so on. We got the boys and so forth and so on. Yeah.
If I had like tons of money, yes, this house could definitely work. Like,
Yeah.
but what's the sense of like keep like you know, I would love to have a bathroom down here
Yeah.
because I'm down here working most of the day. Like that would be pretty dope. But I don't think I will ever find a house with a basement this big. That's one thing I am gonna miss. Like this basement is like the scope of the whole house, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're gonna find that again. But then the drawback of that, like the attic is pretty much the same, almost the same size of the house, but it's so hot in the winter. I mean, it's so cold in the winter and so hot in the summer. And we've done extra. What's that pink shit called? We done insulation.
Insulation.
We got
Yeah.
we did a ridge line on the roof, like and and still hot in the summer, still cold in the winter. Like that is just pretty much unusable space, and like that could be another bedroom. Like we could have a whole floor to ourselves, but we don't because like it's just not really usable space with it being so warm up there in the summertime. So
Yeah.
we got a list. You know, with COVID and working from home and being able to like put away more money and that has been a really good thing. So just gotta keep on squirreling away and hopefully we'll find something within this year. And if we don't, that's cool too because we're still working towards it.
Yeah, you're not in a rush like this has to be, you know.
It's a lot better to look for a house when you already have one than when you don't have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they say that about jobs too. It's like, but it's certain stuff we are talking about it more and more. It's like we don't do certain things. Just like, look, we'll make sure we have that prepared for the new house. Like, I really, really want to put solar panels on whatever house I move in next. Like, it would be dope to do it here, and I guess that would make the value of the house go up a little bit more. But I really, really, really want to do solar panels, and I want to get like a generator and the solar panels. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that happens for the next house.
One of the things that I've learned about like having my own home is just do with your house whatever the fuck you want to do with your house, and like damn what other people think. Like I remember when I originally wanted to kind of like do a little bit of like remodeling on this upstairs bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I always wanted a pedestal sink. I like pedestal sinks. I like how they look. I like how it makes the room feel more open, even though like it's kind of an illusion. But I still I like that look more than I like that like clunky box sink. Even though the box sink is more functional, I felt like I could like work around it and still get what I want. And I remember like talking to my stepdad about it, and I was talking to him about it because he's like the one that would like experience in plumbing and shit like that. And he's just like, oh no, I don't get a pedestal sink. They're a pain in the ass. Yada yada yada. I'm thinking like, it's my fucking house. I want a fucking pedestal sink. I'm gonna get a fucking pedestal sink, and then I guess you're just not gonna help me. So I'm just gonna do it myself. And if I do it myself, it's turned into I bought all the shit and my buddy did all the work. So now I have a pedestal sink in the bathroom, and it wasn't really that fucking bad. Like a little bit of work had to be done to get it in there, but like I like it the way it looks way more than I thought that like that box shit looked.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's kind of the same thing like when people try to give you marriage advice and they ain't married. Like, this is my shit. Chill out. Like, I appreciate the fact that you have a knowledge in the field, but at the end of the day, like, you can't like determine my taste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I have to live here. I want it to look the way that I want it to look. Like, yeah, it might be more of a pain in the ass to be put in, but once it's in, it's in. It's not like I have to take it in and out all the fucking time. So, like, it's in there now, and, like, honestly, I know, like, there was, like, one video I was watching where an old plumber was, like, giving plumbing tips, and someone asked him about pedestal sinks. He's like, oh, they're a pain in the ass to work in, and I'd rather work out of a box sink, and yada, yada, yada. I'm thinking, like, why? Like, for me now, you can get to the pipes behind the pedestal sink pretty fucking easily. Whereas with the box sink, it was a tiny little fucking square that someone had to try to reach into, and then there were drawers in the way, and like the pipes were all on the back walls. It's like, I feel like this is way more easy to work on than the last setup was.
Oh yeah. And not to mention, like with most new faucets, like the way they were made, like old school, like they had little washers inside of them. Mm-hmm. You just unscrew it, You would like when the hot water would leak more because of course it's hot and it would melt the washer. And then you would just put the new washer in and replace it. But with most new sinks, it wears out the same, but they don't put washers into it. So you would have to replace the whole thing if something breaks. And like you said, with a pedestal sink, you just go under there, go in the back, change it, you done. Man, you gotta have little ass arms or remove the whole fucking cabinet in order to change some sinks.
Yeah.
And man, like we have one upstairs right now that needs to be changed again. Like my niece came over here and fucking she hawked our faucet and like the water came up out of the on and off faucet, like the faucet handle, like popped up out. That water was so fucking cold coming in my face when I was trying to turn it off. It was terrible. So, man, like ownership is like one of those things where some people would be like, "Man, you don't own a home, you ain't shit." Renting is kind of easier, like especially like yes, stability is good, but if you handling your shit, renting is stable too.
I, a renter, literally have been in my rental property that I rent the other day 14 years. I'm pretty stable. It's the longest place I've ever lived in my entire life anywhere. As from baby on, because I got a good landlord who does right by me. I'm happy with what I pay, and it gave my children a secure space. Like I said, when I got divorced, I was considering moving out, and I was like, well, how about I just stay in place? That way the kids got a base that'll always be like, that's where dad's at. That's where grandma, where my neighbors is at. You know what I'm saying? And I've stuck with it. Would I like to own a home? Probably just because I'd like to be able to, say I own a home. That's about it for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have a lot of like, well, I could do this, I could do that. And maybe, who knows? One day, maybe I will own a home and be like, oh, man, this shit was the bee's knees. For right now, I'm a renter, and that's okay by me. Most of this country, in fact, are renters, and so we do okay right now. The problem being, we now live in a country where corporations are starting to buy houses because it just works for their bottom line.
Well, and they're practically free from them because of the tax breaks with the government.
Yeah, and so that is where we're starting to kind of get fucked again. Capitalism doing what it does as a society, because they can come in and just outbid anybody with it at any time. You know what I'm saying?
They tried to hit me up again yesterday.
Yeah,
they've been trying to buy up my neighborhood because the houses were pretty affordable for the area, and they sent me an offer sheet, the one, and I've had multiple people over the last year try and fucking call and text me about selling my house.
Yeah, it's wild out there in these streets. So, like I said, but what you are right on is like at any day, my landlord could be like, "I'm selling this motherfucker. I'm out the game," or it could be like, "I need to raise your rent by X amount," and so forth and so on. Anything can happen like that. So that is always a potential concern or worry. But like I said, I've been here 14 years. It kind of took my breath the other day. I was like, "Holy shit, that's right." Took my breath also because I had to call and be like, "Hey man, something going on with this dishwasher." Plumber came out the next day, got it done, got it fixed, replaced my sink faucet. Got a new sink faucet now. With way better pressure. Shouts out to that guy. He did right by me.
Yeah.
So,
The only reason I want to own a home is for the boys.
yeah, generational wealth. You want to build generational wealth.
Yeah,
And I fuck with it.
and like generational wealth is one of those things, like it's just not about like having money. It's not just about like, well, my parents took me here, my parents took me here. It's like, well, I seen my dad out there every day cutting the grass, or I seen my dad changing faucets and knowing how to do this, and like learning different life skills that like everybody don't have because like, hey, if you know if you do certain things like Tita said, he didn't have to change the faucet. Like we shit go down, we got to do the popping. So, but like it's always like whenever I'm putting something together, it's like, hey Spud, go give me this too. Go give me this because I'm not working on cars. So, I try to keep them involved and see the different things we have to do around here. Like they're really like into money right now for some reason. Like if you ask Emery something, oh yeah, I bought that. That was me. That was my money. I did that. And like if they see a coin on the ground or like on the floor, can I have this penny? Can I have this? So like it's really about time that we start teaching them about money more, and showing them how easy it's not it doesn't come easy, and it'll probably be even less easy for you.
Have you thought about like opening like stock accounts for them or anything like that?
Um, not really because I don't know. Like that's something I'll have to do more research on. I do have some stock, but and my partner has even more than me. So maybe that's some she that she should go over with them. Like it's crazy. Like my brother was really into stocks. Like he was really like when they used to be in the newspaper. Um, he would he knew how to read the paper and what everything meant and could make guesses and stuff what would be from different trends and stuff like that. I don't even know if that's in the paper anymore. Is it?
I don't think the paper. I don't think they do. They don't even print the paper every day anymore. I believe it comes
Yeah,
out a few times a week. So if
it's
it's in
more of
there,
a
it's gonna be behind.
it's more of a digital thing now. The thing about like stocks though, like I've come to learn is like they're important for future wealth because of inflation and like the
Yeah.
stock market actually like inflates with inflation, so like your money actually grows, whereas like if you just have a dollar and then inflation happens, you still have a dollar. But if you have a dollar of a stock and then the stock goes up, it follows inflation, you have the dollar plus whatever the inflation would be, your money actually grows with it.
It was crazy. Like I forgot the name of the guys you follow, but they were talking about how Legos, like actual Lego, like the sets and stuff,
Or
how
like
they're going up in
investments.
value. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking about like actually buying stock into Lego. Period.
the
So
the
they're a European
video
company.
the video that I sent you guys the other day, that I said that I thought you guys would enjoy and find a lot of information in it. One of the things of that episode, which was like I think like 2 hours long or so, they talked about how like they like when they were taking questions from the viewers, they had one guy come on who was a father, and he was talking about how he's a 16-year-old who he has a stock account for, but like it's like a custodial account. So right now, like the dad runs it, and when the son turns 18, he'll be able to take control of it. But they're using this time now while he's young to teach him about the stock market and how to invest and everything. Because if you get the earlier you get in, the bigger it grows. Like theoretically, the longer you have for it to grow, the more money you'll have when you're older. Whereas
Yeah.
like me personally, I didn't start this shit until like last year. Like yeah, but like we have like I have like a work 401k like you guys do and a pension and like stocks and all that stuff from work. But like I wasn't really doing any side investing of my own with any other money until like last year. So I didn't know anything about those things. Like my dad's approach to it all was very poor. In like he turned us off on it by like ranting and raving like a lunatic rather than showing us the importance of it from a positive perspective. It was all doom and gloom and the world's ending and you're all fucked if you don't learn how to do this. And so it's like no kid wants to be like, no, yeah, let me learn about stocks because my dad said if I don't, I'm gonna like be fucking destitute in my 40s. Like, you got to make it like educational and interesting.
Yeah, I was told my next door neighbor was a preacher, and he used to always say that he didn't like being called a preacher. He liked being called a teacher of religion. He's like, there's a difference. Preachers stand up there and they, you know, oh, and it's dramatic and it's blah blah blah. But when you're teaching people, you're reinforcing it, and you're not only just telling them the information, you're telling them why, you're telling them the hows. So it's interesting to them instead of just being like, "Hey, you need to buy stocks." But why do I need to buy stocks, Dad? And don't tell me like I'm 40 like you. Tell me like I'm my age so I can understand. Um,
Yeah, I wish my dad had sat down and like explained it to me calmly and like in a way that I could understand so that I could have appreciated it more back then and actually had an idea of what it was all about so that I could have started in my early 20s, whereas instead I started at 35.
I mean, but still, it's like, I mean, I'm glad that you still had a notion at 35, um, and like before you settle down and meet someone where, um, I mean, it'll be for a few years it'll be less of a priority for you. Like, when kids come into the picture, you kind of forget about some shit for a little bit, but as these coming years, as the boys are getting older, and I can start to not really like refocus on me, but try to put some more feathers in my cap as far as like concentrating on my life a little bit more because they're getting older and they're not gonna fuck with me all like that. Um, I can start studying things more and um, start thinking of a second revenue stream or something like that, or
Mhm.
that's some stuff to think about. Like maybe instead of like in like the next 5 years, maybe finally get a food truck going. I don't know. Maybe.
To always be able to like, Ant man, slime some tots, man.
I mean, now I actually like. It's funny. Like I actually know how to make that kind of stuff now. Like
Yeah.
I think I could do a food truck, but on like I was thinking about it today. Like a friend of mine on Instagram was like, he's starting a food truck, and what should he have on there? And I told him like, definitely like some chicken fingers and fries, and not just any fries. Make sure you fry them twice, and make sure you're using like real potatoes. And then I was thinking like all the stuff I know how to do with potatoes now, like I didn't know before, and like just being like being older and have different knowledge about stuff is incredible. And the fact that like I can pass it on to my kids now, before they get too old and jaded and not wanting to do different things, because they really get interested in like making food. Like sometimes it's only for very short periods of time, but they are interested.
I don't know. All right, y'all. For you, the listener, Gabe is in his current RV situation. The power went out in the entire RV park, and maybe even wider. So that is why he disappeared from the program. Worry not, he already said he was going to record me on the road with the real ODP for this week's episode.
SKiM will be right back after these messages.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of On the Road with the Real ODP, brought to you by Stays Crunchy and Milk. This is our first edition of On the Road since our last edition. Actually, I stumbled that. I meant to say this is the first edition of the new year, first edition of 2022.
Okay, much better.
That sounds better.
Since our last edition.
And as you can hear, I'm joined by my lovely wife.
Hi.
And last time we were coming to you from just arriving in Mississippi, correct?
I think so, yeah.
And
I don't even think we've seen the alligator when we talked to them.
Yeah, we did not. So in Mississippi, we saw Elvis the alligator. You know, because Mississippi's not known for that.
He was just really big.
He was a really big alligator.
Like, Elvis was a really big superstar. Elvis was a hero to most, I guess.
Yes.
So when we did you guys talk about like where we're going? Do they know? Like where we're like our general. No, or you just kind of like, hey, we're here.
Yeah, I make a joke at the beginning of the podcast about how I was where I'm broadcasting from.
What is that funny?
I like to think I'm funny.
No, but I mean, okay, I don't get the joke.
Well, like this week, I said I am coming to you from the free state of Florida.
Oh, okay. But you, like, I was just going to say, like, for the listeners who are following our journey, I guess, we wanted to see the Gulf Coast. That was,
Yes.
like, kind of what we had planned to do. Well, originally we planned to go to Florida first.
Yeah,
from Ohio, but with the holidays and the snowbirds, it got crazy.
And we got too booked for some places were a little too rich for our blood. So we're no.
We were paying like $500 for 3 nights to live in our home. Like, we're not even renting someone else's home. But then it was like primitive camping. So there's no electric, no sewer, no water, nothing.
No, thank you.
Right. So by the time we like priced it all out, we were like, no, thank you. So anyway, we decided to go from Ohio as far south as we could to get as warm as we could, and then see the Gulf Coast. We're going to do that first. So we went into Alabama, got down to the Gulf at Mobile, right? That we talked to them about that.
Yes, we did. We talked about how I got assaulted at the parade by beads and other trinkets that they were throwing.
Then our plan was to see if we could get from one end to the Gulf, from the west end to the east end, and then get through Florida, which we have successfully done because we are now in Florida.
Yeah, we spent a decent amount of time on the Gulf Coast in Mississippi, and we got kind of attached. It was one of the hardest places to leave so far.
Oh yeah, that especially the second site, the Pirate Cove.
Oh, I really enjoyed the Pirate Cove.
The whole atmosphere of like that side of the Gulf, I mean, we were in and out of several cities over there. It wasn't just like, one particular park. Because we were there for what, 2 weeks? No. Were we?
Buccaneer State Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there for 2 weeks.
Okay.
That was a 2-week stay.
That was really nice. And we were right on the coast. We got to play in the Gulf of Mexico, every day, every other day?
Pretty much. The people were really friendly.
And then even when it was like, we had a couple days where it was like rainy and thundery. It was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was so nice. So we liked that there. And then when we had to leave, we were like, this is the first time we've really been sad to say goodbye anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, including saying goodbye to Ohio. No, we cried a lot when we left.
Yeah.
We did. We cried.
We rang in the new year at Buccaneer State Park. I went to half the family couldn't make it to midnight. The other half that included me, my 10-year-old and my 6-year-old, wanted to go see some fireworks at midnight. And we went to this park that people suggested, and I was like, let's go see who this park was. But there was some fireworks in the distance, some professional fireworks. But mostly it was just a bunch of good old boys, shooting off Roman candles in the parking lot.
Well, you didn't get all the way to like where the fireworks were being shot off, right? You stopped at the beach near where our park was.
Because I saw a bunch of cars there, and I thought they can see it from there, and we did see some of it from there.
But it was like little, like when you're where we were on the Gulf of Mexico, you could see the shoreline. It was like a big curve, so you could see this whole, like, I guess inlet or bay. You could see all the way from like one end of it to another. It was really neat. And at night, you get to the beach, and then that's it. It's dark, right? Over the water, there's no lights, there's nothing. It's really, really cool. Like, there's this very distinct darkness. So when we thought about the fireworks, I was like, we should go. But then midnight came, and that was not, I think it was like 9 p.m. came.
Yeah.
We were like, this isn't going to happen for our family. But you powered through. You did it.
I did. I took them. And my 6-year-old was so excited to see even just the country boys in their country music and their Roman candles. He was excited to see that. Well, it got to midnight, and the kids wanted to stay just a tiny bit longer until I guess one of the Roman candles went sideways and blew up like 2 feet away from us. And they're like, let's go. And they were so freaked out by it. I didn't see how close it was.
Oh my gosh.
I just saw some sparks like fly past me.
They came busting in and woke me up. Well, I don't know if I was even really asleep, but they came out like you mouthed off to somebody, and that you got into some kind of
fight, and they're shooting fireworks at me? Jeez, oh man.
It's just the way that they were so scared. Daddy almost died.
I think it's a slight exaggeration.
I don't know. If you talk to the kids, they're like, I mean,
they said it blew up like 2 feet behind you.
They said 2 feet, but then they hold out their hands and it's like 10 inches.
I mean, I don't know. I thought I would have noticed or something that a firework blew up behind me.
I never asked. Did they say they were sorry?
No. They didn't even come over and check on us.
Did they see that they had almost hit you with a firework?
I don't know if they saw it.
Okay.
There was some drinking involved, I bet.
Oh, for sure.
And they had young kids themselves.
That doesn't usually stop a ton of people.
It doesn't.
A lot of people with young kids enjoy drinking. For obvious reasons.
Yeah. Some of them because of the young kids.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Well, we hope.
You don't think they shot it at you because you were Puerto Rican?
They might have. Who knows?
You are getting very dark in the sun.
Yeah, the sun's keeping pretty dark. It's pretty Puerto Rican looking.
I cannot remember the last time that you were this dark, because maybe on our honeymoon?
In Belize. Spending a week in the sun.
Yeah, you've been inside for your whole life.
Drinking rum punches and pina coladas. Good times.
Yes, Belize was a lot of fun.
All right. And,
okay, so we saw an alligator. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, we saw an alligator named Elvis. He was 9 feet long.
It was huge. Huge. This was like a monster alligator. I did not expect this alligator to be this big. Where we were staying, this is before we got to the Pirate Cove, we were staying at another place in Mississippi, and they were like, there's a corner of the I guess, were we in a salt marsh? Yeah, there's a corner of the salt marsh, like brackish water where alligators live. There's this one corner that the locals call Gator Pond, and you can see Elvis. There's 2 alligators that live there. There's a dark green one and like this bigger gray one, and Elvis is the bigger gray one. we're like, okay, so we decided, I took the kids, right? You stayed
Yes.
back and you were working.
I was working.
And I took the kids for a walk over to quote-unquote Gator Pond. And sure enough, freaking 9-foot alligator just hanging out there in the brackish water.
Sunbathing.
Sunning. I couldn't believe it. It was so big. So we took pictures. We were super excited. That was one of... God damn it with the name. Sorry.
Yeah, you make it to you edit overtime.
She has a checklist of things, and most of them we thought would take place in Florida, but she did want to see an alligator in the wild, and we got to do that in Mississippi.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And we also took a day trip to Louisiana.
Took a couple day trips to Louisiana.
Yeah,
the first one.
The first one we went on the swamp tour.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun and very informative and learned a lot. And
we learned the difference between a bayou and a swamp.
Now I know the difference between a bayou and a swamp.
Do you remember what it is?
No.
You don't know the difference then.
Well, I know it. It's in the back of my mind, and I'm sure I can come up with it if I thought about it a lot.
So the swamp is the water, right?
Yes. And the bayou is...
Or is it the other way around? Now I don't remember. No, I don't know either.
Now you don't know.
Gosh. But we also
It'll
learned
come to me later.
That people who live in the bayou will eat anything.
Yes. Our tour guide was very adamant about all the birds he wants to eat. Like, I'm loving that damn bird. I like that bird. I'm going to eat that bird.
I was wondering if you were going to do your Louisiana accent.
Well, isn't that it?
No.
How did he sound?
Not like that.
I sound like that. He's like, look at that damn gator. I'm going to eat that gator.
No, he didn't sound like that. He was... I don't know. He sounded like he was from Louisiana. He did say about the bird that was introduced. They had to introduce a bird species to get rid of another species of, what was it, a snail?
Yeah, the invasive snail.
Yeah, so there's this invasive snail. They introduced a bird that will eat it. And he said, I can't wait till they put a season out on those. Doesn't that look like a bird you want to eat? And
eat that damn bird.
Our daughter just died.
She's a vegetarian, and she has love for all these animals. This guy talking about all the animals he eats and all the hunting he does did not sit well with her.
No, he was
Poor thing.
Describing in great detail like these duck hunting and...
We do duck hunting. We duck hunt.
And how, you have to sit in the water with the gun, and it's just like... And there's people that live on the water. That was neat.
Yeah, they have waterfront property.
But, only waterfront property.
Yeah, only waterfront property.
There's no land back property. They had to take a boat. The people we saw, they were coming back from errands, and they had Target bags and Chick-fil-A, and...
Well, if the Target and the Chick-fil-A is not right on the water, how did they get there?
Well, they have a car that's, parked on the road.
Oh.
He told us that. They keep a car, there's a little turnaround, I guess, at the dead end of the road, and it runs right into the river.
Ah.
And they use their little boats to go back and forth across the river. But I'm sure they own a car. I can't imagine they Uber. The Bayou folk. But, I also don't imagine they go to Target and Chick-fil-A often either, right?
No, I guess not.
That way of life is not conducive to, Maxinistas or the people who shop at TJ Maxx.
Oh, I didn't know that's what they're called.
There's a commercial. I don't know if it's recent or I don't know. They call them Maxinistas.
I just remember do TJ Maxx. You don't remember that commercial?
I don't.
Oh,
But were you an instrument or was it a song?
That was a song. I went do 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 do.
The words were do 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 do, or the music was.
The music went. There's some people singing do 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 do. TJ Maxx. I have to find it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's all right. Remember the Nestle song? You had no idea.
Oh, what was that?
That Nestes. Nestle makes the very best chocolate. And you didn't even know that song existed, and then I
I didn't know that. No, I didn't.
The kids have not stopped singing it.
No, but you didn't. I mean, we're the same age group, and there's a lot of things that we don't know, like that we both grew up on. Like, you didn't know about the Mad Goat.
The Mad Goat?
The goat that gets mad on Sesame Street.
Oh, that was like a pivotal part of your childhood, right?
It's all right to get mad.
I remember when you told me that.
You don't remember that.
No, I don't remember the goat at all. I mean, I know the goat now because you have since told me about the goat, but I don't remember the goat. We grew up very differently.
I guess so.
White suburbia versus
well, I lived in white suburbia too.
Not when you were a little kid.
I mean, I guess not. It wasn't suburbia, but there was still some white people by me. There's some Puerto Ricans by us too.
All right, well, I guess that's exactly the same.
Sort of, kind of. And, all right, back to On the Road.
Sorry.
That's all right.
We get sidetracked.
Well, the show is very sidetracked. We got some of our best material from getting sidetracked. And, what else we tried? Like on our last night there in Mississippi, we tried oysters.
Yeah, that felt like an archaeological or like an anthropological kind of experiment that we had to do because of we played on the beaches every day.
We see these oyster shells.
There's oyster shells everywhere, littered. Every bar, every restaurant is oyster. And so,
they have an oyster drop that we missed, but they drop an oyster
at New Year's, yes, instead of the Times Square ball, they have this giant oyster on one of the little cities that we were in, and they count it down and it falls off of the top of the building, not off of the top of the building. You know what I mean?
It's like that,
like a ball drop.
It's like Georgia has the peach drop.
They do?
Yeah. Terrell has told this story a few times on the podcast about the Georgia.
But so oysters are everywhere.
We're on the Gulf. We don't think we thought if we're gonna get oysters, this is the place to get them. They're not gonna get any better than this.
Yeah. So we decided on our last night it had to be done.
Got a half a dozen raw oysters.
Right. That's 6. There's 6 people in our family.
Yeah. So we figure that's one per.
We'll put one on the plate for everybody. We'll get the crackers and the cocktail sauce and the lemon juice and the Tabasco, and we'll just give it a shot.
Yeah. Well,
how'd it go?
Most of the kids were not willing. You got to ask me as the person.
How many did you eat?
I ate 3.
Really?
Or 4? I ate my own.
You ate mine.
I ate yours. Ate most of.
Oh, God damn it! I'm sorry with the names. Sorry, T.
That's all right. I ate
yours.
I ate my daughter's. Not the 10-year-old. I ate the 3-year-old. She sniffed it. She sniffed it once and said, "Yuck." God bless my 6-year-old. He tried it. He
wanted to like it so bad. He was so brave.
He put it on a cracker and he put some cocktail sauce on it and he's like, "I'm gonna try this."
He was so excited and
then he's like, "No, thank you, not from a consumer of."
So we ordered a half dozen oysters, and you ate 5 oysters because no one would try them. So we ordered 6 oysters. Not a lot. And you ate how many? Like, total.
Just about everybody's.
I mean, you probably ate 5.5 oysters.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I had to. I don't like food going to waste.
I had to.
And I guess I didn't have to.
Well,
they weren't cheap.
No, they weren't. They weren't cheap. Even though we were in the oyster capital. I mean, I only had like a bite of mine, and then you ate it.
Yeah, and the girls turned their nose up at him and didn't have any, so I had to eat.
Try his? He took a bite.
Edit that name out.
Sorry. Oh, I'm the worst.
The 6-year-old, he put his on a cracker and covered it with cocktail sauce and was willing to try it.
But you ate the rest of it, right? So
he took one bite of that and he's like, "Nope."
So what I'm trying to get at is that we ordered 6 oysters and you ate 5.7.
Yes. They weren't bad if you covered them in Tabasco sauce.
I mean, but you can eat anything if it's covered in, you can eat a tire if it's covered in Tabasco sauce, right?
Pretty much. So maybe it was just Tabasco sauce. Save yourself the trouble eating oysters. I mean, you should have known.
It was terrible.
The guy sent a video recently where they put these two dirty fish tanks, and one of them had oysters and one of them didn't, and they time lapsed it, and the one dirty fish tank with the oysters got clean.
Well, they do that. That's like what that's their function. Are like filters. They're like the kidney of the ocean.
So I ate. Ugh.
If you like oysters, I do not mean to yuck your yum.
No.
The texture of a shrimp, but like if a shrimp and a rubber band had a baby and then they rolled it in sand and then sprayed it with the smell of SeaWorld.
Yes, pretty much. That's a pretty apt description.
Oh my God. So, if you've not had oysters, let me sell you on the magnificent world of oysters.
Even the fried ones. I had a fried oyster po' boy, and it was like gritty.
That's what they're supposed to do. That's their function. They like turn all that sand into pearls, which is basically just oyster shit.
So the pearls are oyster shit?
Like, yeah, on some level.
Yeah, gives a whole new meaning to pearl necklace. And, but oysters don't get much better than that, and they're not getting the ring in.
No, but glad we did.
I'm glad we did. We did.
Kudos to us for being so brave.
Yes, and being adventurous.
We're so adventurous.
All right, and...
So what else? What else do we got to talk about?
Well, we went back to Louisiana to go to New Orleans.
I'm sorry, where did we go?
We went back to Louisiana to go to New Orleans.
Okay. Are you going to do the accent again?
I'll guarantee we went to New Orleans.
Okay.
But this wasn't the bayou part of New Orleans. This was the other part of New Orleans.
The city part.
The city part.
The part Katrina wrecked.
Yeah. We met my cousin there.
Cousin.
You gonna correct everything I say?
When you say it wrong. It's not a cousin. It's a cousin.
Alright. And she was there. It was like one of her last days there visiting, and we're like, well, shit, we're only half away. Let's go see you. And
I don't even think it was that far away. It was like, right? Not even an hour?
Not even. We got some beignets from Cafe du Monde.
Those were yummy. They are not overselling those.
No, beignets are good.
But like the Cafe du Monde ones, those are the well-known, that's the place.
Yes.
And there's a reason that.
Like, I don't know. Are they a date food? They're not really a date food because you get powder all over yourself.
Well, I just definitely would not wear black.
No. I got powder all over my jeans. And,
Well, and your poor cousin, she was wearing all black.
Yes.
But just bring baby wipes. It's fine. They clean everything.
And then we checked out some of the sites, a sculpture garden.
We spent some time that was City Park.
Yes.
The sculpture garden in City Park, and then we went to Storyland, which the kids loved.
They loved Storyland.
That it's like this creepy, like it's like
it's like storybook stuff, like Alice in Wonderland's, like an Alice in Wonderland exhibit, which looked too much like the Disney one. I'm like, they're gonna get sued. So
yeah, there was, and then they had. Were all named the Disney characters.
I was like, yeah, you can't do that. You don't got their permission.
Everything was kind of Disney-y.
Well, some of them weren't from Disney things. Like, what was the one, the tale of the crocodile in the middle of a forest of musical instruments?
Yeah, the New Orleans crocodile fairy tale. And then there was the possum lady.
Yeah.
My soulmate.
Oh, yeah. If you follow her on Instagram, you saw a picture of her with the possum lady there.
It was creepy.
I thought it was fun. And I thought it was cute. And the kids
No,
would love
the
it.
kids had a ton of fun. It's just, giant life-size storybook statues.
And we went to a sculpture garden. That was free. They accepted donations, but every time a free place accepts donations, it makes me think of that episode of The Simpsons where Homer's like laughing because he thinks, like, wait a minute, you want me to give you money out of the goodness of my heart? Bah, ha 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 ha. And then like it was with that substitute teacher that Lisa fell in love with.
I don't remember this. I'm a big Simpsons fan. I don't remember.
Oh no, that's just a funny moment.
Oh.
The way he's laughing at them. And we didn't give money, by the way. I mean, they're starving artists for a reason.
I mean, the people were that had made those.
Anyway,
they were priceless works of art. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
yes. I made a joke about, like, I feel like I could do some of these, and my wife rolled her eyes at me.
I did. I just don't see you being, like, an artiste.
Maybe, but some of them were bullshit.
Like, which ones were bullshit?
Like, the one, what was the one was just a bunch of metal bent up and thrown together, and is like, just with clever names like capitalism and stuff like that. Like, I can do that. I can bend up metal with the best of them. I used to work demolition. I would just take a solid piece of metal and smash it with a sledgehammer until it looks like something.
But I think that's not sort of the point, right? Like, isn't it that, like, you have a statement to use, like, a creative energy and a different medium to get that statement out? And so the art is supposed to mean something. You can't just bang some shit together and then pretend to be an artist.
You just gotta come up with a clever backstory to your piece.
See you with that drive.
Well, no, I mean...
Because you're already here, like, trying to, like, finagle your art to get the best, biggest sales price.
Well, I mean... Hey, that's capitalism, man.
Oh, I see. I see what you did there.
And,
So, a full circle joke.
we went to this, great restaurant.
Yes.
Yes, for lunch.
Oh, Willie Mays.
Not to be confused with the famous baseball player. I was very excited when she said, let's go to Willie Mays. I'm like, Willie Mays? Oh, Mays is from Nolan's? I'm going to keep calling it Nolan's.
I mean, I guess. You have every right to, since you've nailed the accent.
I guarantee.
So, Willie Mays was really good.
Yes, it was delicious. And I'm so mad because, like, we took the leftovers.
Like, where?
I put the bag in the back of the truck.
It's a pickup truck.
Because I didn't want the inside of our truck smelling like food.
And then we valeted our car.
Yes.
So that we could walk around downtown.
Yes, walk the French Quarter.
And, I mean, in a giant metropolis, a bag of food left unattended in the back of a pickup truck.
Some creature got in there and chewed a hole in the bag.
And had their fill of some delicious
butter beans that I was saving for lunch.
Butter beans and rice, chicken, fried chicken. All that went to waste.
Stupid rat.
We think it's a rat? I know our daughter thinks it's a rat.
Probably. The hell's a rat-sized hole?
Or like a gull.
A gull? I think a gull would have done that. Gulls do eat chicken, though.
I don't know. I think it would be easier for a gull to get it.
That's true.
The sticky feet. Walk up walls. Easy breezy.
And then another family member we met down in Nolan's. We ran into your brother.
Yeah, my brother's hanging out down there. We met up with him in Chattanooga. And then again somewhere in Alabama. And then when I told my mom that we were going to New Orleans to see your cousin, she's like, you know your brother's down there.
Did she say it like that?
No, but she had some sass to her. Maybe not that much sass, but like, you should probably call him.
And we did. We met up with him.
We did. We walked around the French Quarter.
Yeah. I did. I don't know if it was a homeless gentleman. But
Oh gosh, when you were talking to him on the stairs.
I was just friendly and treat people like humans.
I know,
And he
but how do you
stopped
get
me.
sucked into these like
He's-
30-minute conversations?
It
with
wasn't 30
people?
minutes. You're so
It
exaggerating.
was so long.
It felt like a long time because it was uncomfortable. Because he stopped me
It wasn't uncomfortable for me.
and he says, "Those are some nice shoes." And I said, "Thanks." What was I supposed to do? Ignore him?
Just say
He's
thank you, sir,
complimenting my
and
shoes.
walk
I
on.
He's like, "Hey, you stop right there."
Did he tell you to stop moving?
Well, he stood kind of in front of me. He says, "I'll make a bet with you. If I can tell you where you got those shoes, I'll leave you alone."
Is that what he said?
Yes.
Okay.
I said, "You know where I got these shoes?" He says, "Yes." I'm like, "All right." He's like, "I know where you got those shoes. You got them at the bottom of your feet." And I'm like, all right, that's funny. And then he sprayed some oil on my shoes. But by the way, these shoes are PF Flyers. If you don't know what a PF Flyer is, it's like a Chuck Taylor.
Like a Converse.
Yeah, they were just like
Canvas with
they're canvas shoes with a leather toe.
It's not even leather. It's like rubber.
Rubber toe, and he wanted to shine my PF Flyers. And before he asked if it's okay, he sprayed them with some kind of oil.
I didn't notice. Are your shoes discolored?
No, Venmo is.
You don't understand what Venmo is?
No, I don't.
What?
I know that Matt Gates used it to like
I think if at this point in 2022 you don't know how PayPal or Venmo work, there's just, we're just going to have to assign you to like crotchety old man.
Well, this crotchety old man was not going to pay this guy to shine his PF Flyers. Like, no, man, I got to go. But that was pretty clever of him.
There's a joke.
Yep.
There's one for the road.
I know where you got those shoes from. No, you can't say from, because that ruins the joke. I know where you got those shoes.
You've got them on the bottom of your feet. That's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. It's not funny to spray my shoes with oil, but it's fun.
Are you okay about that? I feel like you are harboring some kind of resentment.
No, it's all right. He was just trying to he's just hustling, man. He's hustling. I respect the hustle. Nolan's was pretty fun. Mississippi was pretty fun.
Mississippi was hard to leave. I liked it down there.
Oh, I know. That was like one of the hardest.
The time we were there, we've been at other places for 2 weeks, and
It's just the atmosphere. People were laid back. It was kind of a slow pace. Oh God, it was a slow pace. People had to go exactly 25 miles per hour on this road.
oh my gosh, but everyone was so lovely.
Yes.
Like, just lovely. I will say that it would take an awful lot for me to lay down some cash to purchase a home there.
Especially with all the hurricane problems.
That place is not at all rebuilt up.
Well, they keep getting hit by hurricanes.
They've got these houses on like 3-story stilts. So you have to walk up 3 flights of stairs just to get to the first floor of your house.
It's like the Jetsons.
Unreal. I've seen beach houses before. I've seen waterfront houses. I've even videos of floating villages, but I've never seen anything so high up.
Yeah. They do have a lot of houses built on stilts.
But the stilts were so high that it just blew my mind. And then there were so many empty lots. Just so many that were just bulldozed. Completely gone. Driveways to nowhere. It was kind of sad. Well, Waveland, where we stayed, was the ground zero for Katrina.
Yes, they have a ground zero museum that we visited very sad, not very Waka Waka worthy. So I won't get into that too much on the podcast, but I would recommend going to see it just to see the impact of what happened to these poor people.
It's weird to watch that stuff.
Yeah.
Like.
And then
What else? What else you got up there on our list of things to talk about?
I think that's it for Mississippi and the parts of Nolans that we saw so far.
Yeah, the west coast of the Gulf.
And the next at the next installment of On the Road, we'll give you more of the Floridian experience. Floridian, I know, is right. We weren't sure about Louisiana or Alabamian.
So funny. Is there a Google? Can we just Google that and find out?
I thought. I mean,
there's
since
got to
we're
be a
used to
list.
Ohioans being Ohioans, you just add "an" at the end of all this stuff, and
I'm not sure.
but I know that people from Phoenix are Phoenicians.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like stumped by that. No, I feel like Phoenician is that ancient civilization.
Oh, maybe it is.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm really tired.
Yeah.
That is kind of like my running personality trait these days.
Well, we do record these at night after the kids go to bed.
Just freaking
She gets
exhausted.
worn down.
I'm so tired. This is not an easy lifestyle.
It is not. It's a lot of hard work. Keeping kids occupied and entertained, and cooking and cleaning, and my wife does most of it. I do my fair share.
You do a lot.
Thank you.
You're a good house husband.
Thank you.
A good RV husband.
And but not much to talk about Florida. We went to. I think we'll get into that more in the next podcast. We checked out a few places. We went to
We're on our second stop currently in Florida. And we're going to do how many stops in Florida? 8?
Whirlwind. Florida for the next month is going to be quite the experience. So we'll have lots to talk about. And I mean, I have learned something so far. Swamp ape is just a swamp ape is not a thing.
It's not a thing. There's no such thing as a swamp ape. Well, I mean, maybe there is, but like...
Maybe there is. It's like Bigfoot, but I thought it was like a known. It was like a swamp ape. Like if you go to the swamp, there's some apes in the trees.
Are there any apes in North America?
I don't know. Why wouldn't there be?
I know we have monkeys, but are there apes? There's monkeys in Florida.
I didn't know. You hear a thing called a swamp ape, and we figured they're swamp apes.
I think that's kind of like the whole the Bigfoot naysayers are like, there's no such thing as a Bigfoot because there's no apes in North America, so they couldn't have evolved into a Bigfoot.
Oh, I didn't know there's no apes in North America.
Well, think about it.
I thought they were.
Have you ever heard of the Canadian gorilla?
No, but
there are no apes in North America.
So swamp apes aren't a thing.
So swamp apes aren't a thing. Unless it's like a skinwalker or like a shapeshifter.
What?
Those are like real things.
They're not real things. All right. Well, I was mistaken. I thought that was like an animal you find in the book of animals, and it says this is a swamp ape. I pictured it as an ape with long hair.
Did it have like moss growing on it, like Spanish moss?
I thought it was just a dirty ape. Because they live in the swamp, and they're like, I guarantee you, I want that there banana. I'll get that banana.
There's no bananas. No bananas, no apes.
There's oranges. So it could eat oranges. And ants. Don't they eat ants anyway? Why do people say gorillas are vegans? Ants are meat. You can't just eat an ant.
Meat?
We call it vegan. What's a living thing? If I can't eat honey and be a vegan, gorillas can't eat ants and be vegans. They're not vegans. I don't call bullshit on gorilla vegan.
Wait, now do gorillas eat ants or do chimpanzees eat ants? I know chimpanzees do because they use tools.
Well, since I'm using my phone to record this, I can't really look it up right now. But
Asleep on my phone. Oh,
our
sorry.
youngest daughter's asleep on my wife's phone, so she can't look it up either. But I know. All right, I know this isn't the best source, but I thought I saw the gorillas in Tarzan eat apes.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry. I thought I saw the gorillas in Tarzan eat ants.
Tarzan the movie? With Brendan Fraser?
No, the cartoon. Well, why is that funny? Why wouldn't they put that?
You prefaced it with, I know this isn't the best source. Like it might be a mediocre source. It's a cartoon.
Yeah, but in the cartoon, they had the gorillas eat ants. Why wouldn't
Why wouldn't they have done their research on the Tarzan cartoon?
Well, I mean,
they clearly
they got a lot of
did
things. They got a lot of things accurate. Like there's one gorilla troop leader, and
that's it.
And what they ate.
All right. Well, I definitely do not recommend sourcing information from cartoons.
Gorillas eat ants. My daughter, who should be asleep because it's damn near 11 o'clock, is yelling from another room, and she's the animal expert, so they do eat ants. So there. Gorillas are not vegans.
This is where we've come to in our homeschool, is that we just rely on our daughter to tell us everything about.
We got to stop calling them vegans. We got to stop that meme where, like, vegans say, like, well, you don't ask a gorilla where they get their protein.
I mean, they clearly get it from ants.
They get it from ants.
I love you. You're so pretty.
Can we at least agree that gorillas aren't vegans?
Yes. That I don't think is like...
Okay.
They're omnivores, right? They eat all sorts of things. Grubs.
Well, Gorilla Grodd from DC eats brains.
Who?
Gorilla Grodd, the comic book character.
Oh, I don't know that. Sorry, baby.
Okay. He's a telepathic gorilla.
I mean...
From Gorilla City.
It's probably a better source than the Tarzan cartoon.
All right. This is running long.
Sorry.
And we're getting off the rails. I just wanted to mention that while in Florida, I learned that
there's no swamp apes.
Swamp apes is like the Yeti, or like the abominable snowman, or like
what?
The abominable snowman.
Abominable.
The abominable snowman. It means you should go to sleep. Go to sleep. You're interrupting my podcast. This isn't professional.
This is what you get when you're on the road.
When you're on the road with the real ODP, brought to you by Stays Crunchy and Milk. Well, and we look forward to talking to you more about the Floridian experience.
We'll have to make like note cards or something so we can keep on track.
Yeah.
Or no.
Hey, people like getting off track. All right. We love you. We appreciate you. And anything else, dear?
I don't have anything. I mean, I've got loads of stories, but I'm a little too tired.
All right. Good night, folks.
Good night.
And now back to Skim.
So, which is why he wasn't supposed to be on the show this week. He was going to record me a little side project, but he was just like, I want to come on. I'm like, all right, bro, come on. But y'all know the deal is, you know what I'm saying? We've gone through everybody's little life's events and issues and discussed and so forth. And we just shamble on over to Emma the asshole. Now, here's the deal here. I got one that's just this is gonna be one of the weeks where we do one for T. Cause this one this one got some shit going, and then that motherfucker printed up, wrote up a whole update, and I'm like, this shit got to be the burner. So I got to know what's going on with that one. And in fact, I'll read you that title right now, so you guys know what's going on with that one. The one I want to read that we will be reading is, "Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend she ruined my night by insisting she comes along?" And like I said, that bitch got a big old backup. The other options are, am I the asshole for not wanting to help my ex with our daughter? Am I the asshole for beating my boyfriend at Super Smash Brothers? Am I the asshole for not forgiving my bestie for ghosting me for 6 months? And am I the asshole for getting angry with my girlfriend and demanding she pay to replace my sheets after she got blood on them?
Oh no.
My son saw that one over my shoulder as I was pulling them, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that dude tripping." I go, "You are correct, son." This if nothing else means I am raising you right, and I feel good about that. So those are what I present to the class this week. I told you the one is coming no matter what. What about the others that if you think you want to?
The Mario Kart one made me chuckle.
Smash Brothers, not Kart.
Or Smash Brothers, yeah.
I'm fine with that one.
Cool. In fact, we'll start with that one. Another asshole for beating my boyfriend at Super Smash Brothers. My boyfriend and I are competitive people and often play board games, video games, puzzles, etc. Again, play puzzles? Yeah, no, don't do that to yourself. Against each other. We are both in STEM fields and we compete in a lot of things. It's usually all in good fun. I often win in puzzles and him in video games. We recently visited his parents for the holidays, and he brought back an old console and we played Super Smash Bros. Together, a game he used to play as a kid. Not gonna lie, he beat me pretty badly, but what bothered me was how condescending he was about it. When I asked him questions about how to get better or what to do, he said something along the lines of, "You could play for years and never beat me, and I shouldn't even try because I had no chance." He wouldn't even properly explain the controls to me. It was frustrating. And I saw red and I thought to myself, oh, it's on, motherfucker.
Oh, wow.
So I Googled how to improve and asked a mutual friend for help who linked me to a bunch of YouTube videos on how to play. And apparently you can play the game online even though it's so old. So clearly it's got to be Brawl on the Wii because that's the only one that's online. I have a very OCD personality and I am well organized when it comes to learning. I did a crazy intensive coding boot camp to get the job I have now, as I didn't study programming in school. So I immediately hired the best Smash Bros. Coach I could find. Never thought these even existed until I looked. And they were surprisingly cheap. I even paid more than what the coach asked for per hour because he was so helpful. He was asking like 15 an hour or something like that. WTF, every piano lesson I ever had was 40 plus. Learning the game was hard, but not that difficult compared to my boot camp. My coach would do an hour a day with me explaining things and give me stuff to practice on my own. I'd only do this during the day when my boyfriend was at work. I work from home. Within weeks, we were playing close matches, and within a month, I was beating him. I could tell he was getting more and more frustrated. He forced me to play until he won one or make excuses. Honestly, I started losing on purpose sometimes to spare his feelings. In one of our more intense sessions, he threw his controller and yelled at me, and I replied, "You could train for years and never beat me." Goddamn right. And he wouldn't speak to me all night. To be fair, I did gloat a lot. He must have complained to our mutual friend about it because he found out I was secretly practicing and he got really mad at me. Apparently, it's fucked up. I hid this and paid money only to humiliate him. And it's been so frustrating, it's even affecting him at work. I told him that this was just my personality and how I approach challenges, and his ego should be able to handle losing. He demands I apologize and refuses to play Smash with me anymore, and is extra annoying anytime he beats me in other stuff we play together. So Reddit, am I the asshole for secretly training and beating him?
Man, this guy sounds like
this
guy sounds like a bitch.
Just just the worst type of human being. It's like you talk all that yang, and then when you get it back to you tenfold, because you fuck with the wrong one. You, you know what I'm saying?
That's how
Now you
bullies
know-
be, man.
That's exactly what it is. Bullies on that bullshit. Holy cow.
Yeah,
This was
she's not the asshole, or the person's not the
no.
asshole.
For sure, they're not the asshole, and indeed, your boyfriend is the asshole. That's why he taking them smash L's. Little bitch. First comment is not the asshole. Also, so funny, LMAO. Also, let your partner know that if him losing a match at Smash is affecting him at work, he might need to see a therapist and unpack those thoughts and emotions, because it's not healthy at all to be hype focused like this with something as silly as games between friends and partners. Facts. I'm trying to see if anybody else has written in on this one. Some comment section. It's probably not a coincidence. Here's more. What the hell? Oh, it got deleted. I guess that, man, people being here stealing comments in these Reddit streets. So the comment was removed by a moderator, and somebody responded underneath there. I guess a bot responded saying the above comment was stolen from this one elsewhere in the comment section. It's probably not a coincidence. Here is more evidence against the user. Sheesh. Don't play on Reddit, man. These cats is not fucking around. I don't see anybody who got glistening, shining response or anything like that there, and I don't think I see anything more from the OP, who probably just took their win and ran with it, because everybody's saying not the asshole, and I certainly agree. They are not the asshole. Well played, in my opinion. That's what you do, people. You know what I'm saying? Talk that shit. Come back and bite you in the ass. As for the one I'm interested in, holy cow. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend she ruined my night by insisting she comes along? My girlfriend and I, both 20, female, have been dating for a year. My girlfriend, Jane, and I have separate friend groups. Jane doesn't get along with my friends, yet insists she is brought along to our nights out /in. It's incredibly uncomfortable because whilst she's also a woman, these get-togethers are no partners allowed parties. Plus, she doesn't get along with anyone, so it's super awkward. I was invited out to one of their parties, and Jane got upset that I'm going without her. I'll be gone from 10 a.m. Friday to afternoon on Saturday. It's a hell of a set. She has no issues with both of us going, but without her, it's an issue. I said I'd leave later and try to get back earlier, but she wouldn't have it either. I ended up bringing her along, and it was a nightmare. The mood was brought down, and no one really had fun, as all of my friends seemed to be walking on eggshells around her. When we got back, she kept gloating about how much fun she had, but I felt the opposite. I said, well, I'm glad someone had fun. She got upset and asked me what I meant, and I explained that it was a friend night in, and she wasn't invited. She got super upset and pulled some crap about how it's toxic that I want to have a night out without her. False. That's gaslighting. We already know where this is going. She says she's hurt that I, 1, didn't want her there, and 2, that I said she ruined the night. I just want to spend time with my friends, one-on-one. Am I the asshole? Edit for clarification. I mentioned Jane's gender because usually on posts like these, the no partner rule is because the partners are opposite sex, so it's a safe space for people to talk, guys' night or girls' night. I brought up that she's a woman because all my friends have male partners, but it's still a no partners night despite the gender. I am female. Jane is female. I am bi. Jane is a lesbian. All my friends are female. The party was a birthday celebration, which is why it was over 2 days. They usually aren't that long. So clearly people were asking questions and they needed some positions clarified. Let's see. Info. Somebody asked, info, why are you dating someone who no one seems to like, you included? The OP responds, I love my girlfriend. I'm just sick of her double standards. I'm not allowed to join her on her nights out with her friends. She could have chilled in our apartment like I do when she goes out. And then someone responds to that saying, sometimes love is not enough. She is shutting you out from her nights but demands to join yours and even ruins them. That does not seem like a healthy relationship worth having. You're going to end up losing all your friends if you keep this up. So that's just some comments that were made in that post. But then, so basically, I found the update post before I found the original post. I had to go dig for the original post. Here is the update. Emma the asshole update. Emma the asshole for telling my girlfriend she ruined my night out by and says she comes along. So, the majority vote was not the asshole, with a few you're the asshole votes sprinkled in. A lot of people were generally mad at me for being in that kind of relationship, which didn't make sense. But what can you do? Another thing I want to address, a lot of people kept saying no means no and stick with it when you say no. I want to reiterate that does not work with Jane in these scenarios. Jane from Ted Lasso is also this type of person, so that makes me laugh that this person named her Jane. My man Beard's girlfriend, or not girlfriend, whatever the hell's going on between them two. I got some good advice and used it to the best of my ability. I also feel I owe everyone an explanation as to why I was dating Jane. Oh, that shit says was dating Jane, so. First, my parents were in a very toxic relationship all throughout my childhood. They despised each other, but refused to divorce or even move out for the benefit of the kids. Clearly, that didn't work. Second, Jane's behavior wasn't always so toxic. But once she started to act how my parents did to each other, my dumb brain associated that with love. I now know that is not the case, but Jane was my first real relationship. The first was a few months that ended with me being cheated on. I sat Jane down and explained that I feel sad by the double standard between her friends and mine. I expressed that I have no idea why she's so possessive and insists on coming to every party. Then she said something I was not prepared for. I can't trust that you won't go and fuck everyone whilst out because you're bisexual. She went on to explain that she finds many of my friends attractive and assumes I did too, and so projected her own attraction onto me and became jealous and possessive. She also said there's a 50% extra chance you'll cheat on me because you swing both ways. Oh, so Jane is biphobic, and we now know what to do with this. Throw the whole woman out. I brought up some issues with how she conducts herself, and she began crying and gaslighting me. What I said. Actually, gaslighting. But I stood my ground. As for why she's so possessive in her own word, she just is. And does it because she loves me. I was shocked. I needed time to cool down and think, but I made the decision to break up with Jay. I don't want any biphobia in my life. I told her as such, but she did not take it well. As I was calling one of my friends, I noticed all my cash from my purse, around 100 pounds, was missing. Clearly, along with my card that has since been sorted. She got very angry when I called her out, and I left for my own safety. I'm currently staying at a friend's house. Jane didn't want to leave, and it was getting dicey. But I called the cops, and they removed her. But I didn't feel safe being home alone after that. I also apologized to my friend, and she said it was fine. She was happy I'm out of the relationship. This friend is ride or die, as I am for her. I asked if she, my friend, would dump me as a friend if I continue to be with Jane. She said, absolutely not. What kind of asshole friend would I be? Who does that? So yeah, a sort of happy ending. Thanks to everyone who gave me good advice. So, I mean, that all got handled. Yes, her partner was a colossal asshole and factually as such, and a terrible person on a couple of different levels. And I know Aunt don't like me throwing around terrible person, but this person was literally terrible. What am I supposed to do?
What you should do now is fuck her friend.
You gotta go fuck her friend, right?
Yeah. Like, and then text Jane and be like, your nightmares have come true.
Well, no, don't text that bitch. That bitch crazy. Somebody can get hurt or tire slashed or some shit. You stay away from her, far away from her. That's that is no bueno. Let's see. I think people screw up attraction and, for lack of a better word, need. So a person who's attracted to men, the man in their life fulfills that need. Same with a person attracted to women. I think it gets screwed up when a person is attracted to both and people don't realize that they don't need both to fulfill need. Either fulfills. Either fulfills it. Okay. So a partner who doesn't quite fulfill, or excuse me, fully understand it feels like they don't provide both and think the other person will be tempted to fulfill that non-existent part of that need. Okay, I can hear that. I get that. Like I said, that woman is was clearly biphobic. Just so strong. I never will understand.
I wouldn't
the
say
various,
biphobic. I would say insecure.
assuredly, but she said specifically that you are bisexual and will fuck around on me. That shit is the basis of biphobia. Just is. And
I would like. Wouldn't biphobia be like you hate bisexual people? Am I reading that
yeah,
wrong?
kind of sounds like she hates bisexual people. Doesn't
But that's what I'm saying. It's not that she hates them. It's that being in a relationship with someone who like has a wider array of potential sexual partners scares her because she's an insecure person. That's what it is. Like it's not biphobia.
It's weird that she even concerned herself that her partner is out there. She in her mind, her partner's out there looking for more sexual partners. While in the partner's mind, she's like, I'm in a relationship. I'm not trying to do nothing. I'm just being in a
But
relationship.
that doesn't make it biphobia. That's just insecurity.
Yeah. It's a biphobia. It's an insecurity that leans biphobic in how in the words she used. How I'll allow for this, and that's okay to say. And that's jacked up, man. It's fucked up to be that kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that to anybody. Like, bro, you gotta, Anyway, hey, OP, I know biphobia is shit and sticks with you, but you really just have to find the right person. I'm bi and trans, female to male. And after trial and error, I'm in a committed relationship and so happy with someone who genuinely understands. They're aspect, non-binary, so they, them pronouns for them, please. I don't think you need to add that to this conversation. I just really don't. I'm so glad you stuck to your ground and got out there as fast as you could. Stay safe. This person says, as a lesbian, I don't get it either. Both times I've been cheated on, it's been by lesbians. So I can't see where a bisexual would be any more likely to cheat than any other shitty person who would cheat. Biphobia is so gross. So whatever. These people, as you can see, like I said, I'm glad. Oh, she did what. This was the revelation this person needed to break up with this person who was real shitty. Just and Box, you are 100% right. Super insecure, but insecure in a way that it becomes it's no longer a possible good vibe to be had from it. You know?
Yeah, this person shouldn't be in a relationship. They need to fix themselves before they can be in a relationship with anyone. Because if you go in a relationship, you can't trust the other person to even go to the grocery store alone. That's not a healthy relationship.
Correct. Like you have done your brain a disservice with that kind of process. So it's sad. It's sad that it came down to that. But there you go, man. We've MI'd, we've assholed. We got some ideas.
That's one thing I've always wondered about, like celebrities. When like there's a celebrity that like it's been like quote unquote reported, like the news has gotten out there about like infidelity, like Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
What is it about Chloe that she can't stop going back to that dude? And I'm not necessarily looking to discuss the ideology and the psychology of it all, but I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. It's like, he's cheated multiple times.
Yeah.
Why would you want to be in a relationship with a person who's cheated multiple times? And this, I'm just using that as an example for everybody. Like when you know that someone else, they weren't able to control themselves and respect a relationship, what makes you think they're going to do it with you?
Yeah. Because oftentimes people think, well, maybe I can change them. Maybe I'm something different enough than everybody else that can make this not work that way. And you can't help. I mean, you can't help people. The brain is a fucked up situation. Mm-hmm. It just is, man. It's like you can't help that. I bet I would not doubt. I'm not saying this that I know this because I don't. I would not doubt that Tristan Thomas, whatever, is a good dad. Like he does right by his kid, and that's probably a very attractive feature. Mm. And she could probably be like, but we could be a family. You know what I'm saying? And
he's a couple kids away from being Sean Kemp level. He's got 3 baby mamas now.
No,
that we know of.
Sean Kemp got like 10 kids. He ain't a couple. Sean Kemp got way more kids than that.
I thought Sean Kemp had like 7. I thought Dwight Howard passed him in the rankings. Did Dwight Howard have 2 kids born on the same day by 2 different women?
I don't know about that.
He was extra fertile that week.
I want you to know, if you type into Google, how many kids does Sean Kemp have?
7.
The answer Google gives you is 2. Sean Kemp Jr. and Jason Kemp. But the first story says you won't believe how many kids Sean Kemp has fathered. And if you scroll down to that, it says Sean Kemp has fathered 7 kids,
Nailed
6
it.
women. 7 kids with 6 women.
I know my Rain Man trivia.
But Dwight Howard only has 5, so Sean Kemp still wins.
Man, I thought Dwight Howard was like approaching digits. Maybe I'm confusing it with Nick Cannon.
If you type how many kids does Dwight Howard have, Google says 1. But if you scroll down, guess what the first story is? You won't believe how many kids Dwight Howard has. So it's the same site, just like you won't believe. Dwight Howard has 5 kids with 5 women. So there you go. Just get a vasectomy.
I owe Dwight Howard an apology.
Pull a drink and start hot saucing up your condoms.
Okay, so Sean Kemp has 7 kids with 6 women.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson has 8 children with unknown amount of women. Muhammad Ali has 9 children with 5 women. Willie Anderson has 9 children with 7 women. Jason Caffey has 10 children with 8 women.
I don't know who Jason Caffey is.
I don't know who half these people are. I don't know what the other dude was before that. Travis Henry has 11 children with 10 women. Evander Holyfield has 11 children with 6 women. George Foreman has 12 children, 2 adopted with 4 women. Antonio Cromartie has 12 children with 8 women. Calvin Murphy has 14 children with 9 women. And he's the number 1 on that list. Calvin Murphy, 14 children with 9 women.
Sheesh.
Which none of those dudes have nothing on the Duggars.
Well, the Duggars, they make pedophiles, so who fucking cares?
I mean, I'm not... The dad didn't... Yes, the dad made a pedophile. Yes. But he did, I'm quite sure he didn't go out trying to make a pedophile. He's like, tonight, baby, I'm putting a pedophile in you. He didn't do that one.
Can you imagine being like at the playground, watching all the kids play, and like seeing all the different kids interacting? And it's like there's like the athletic one, and the artsy one, and the one that's like the negotiator, and then you got the pedophile one.
Oh my god!
I hope to God not.
It's my pedo baby. I love him.
I would think, like, obviously I'm not a parent, but I would think like a parent's one of their fears, besides something happened to their kid, is like their kid being some sort of like murderer or rapist or something. Like, I don't think like anyone would want to be like, oh, that's my baby on TV. Oh, that's my baby on TV.
Yeah, that would really suck to have a kid who's a psychopath or a sociopath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But both of us are, because we watched T yawn and we didn't yawn too.
I'm gonna blame it on being on a video call in a room. Who knows what would have occurred? In the realm of video gamery, have you guys been playing anything?
Just my mobile games. I played Call of Duty Monday. For but they came for me as such shit right now. The graphics don't load well, and I don't like the map, and like I was having problems the other night where like I was going into the map and shit. Like it just was not a good time.
Yeah.
I've been playing some games on my phone as well, but I think the game is called Stray Dogs or something like that. I played a little bit of.
Sleeping Dogs?
No, Stray Dogs.
I don't know. I ain't hip to Stray Dogs.
Hold on, let me grab it real quick.
I did watch in full in one sitting the latest season of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
And that show just keeps getting better and better.
Oh, interesting. IGN gave this latest season a middling review, I would say.
It's called Watchdog Legions.
Oh, okay.
Well, IGN's tripping because this latest season of Cobra Kai was awesome.
Fair enough in that regard.
Yeah, I had to stop watching that. I mean, the other day I was watching when it started, and they put this like new little black kid in, and he was acting like his acting was so bad I had to turn it off.
He plays like an important part near the end.
I figure he played like to add just a random little black kid in, and then they keep on focusing on him. I know he had to play a part.
He's connected.
Connected?
Kinda, yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, it's like I'm a black guy, and when you see another black character in the show, and when it's the black character in the show, it's like with Stranger Things, man, that first season with that little black kid, man, that shit was rough. I hated that little dude in that show, and it made me not like the show as much. Same thing with this dude. His terrible acting really pissed me off so bad. That the one scene where he in the bathroom and he getting scared, I'm like, come on, man, buck up, little dude, goddamn. And I just had to stop watching. I'll probably pick it back up because I like the show overall, but there's only 2 black people on the whole show, and I would like for them to be at least interesting characters. One is an older black kid, and he really don't do much. He have a line like every other show. Most times he just sitting in the background with his arms crossed. Then we had this little black kid, and he's getting scared because everybody picking on him and shit. I was like, man, this shit is hurting my heart. I can't watch this right now.
Fair points. Fair enough. I've been gaming kind of hard. I beat Halo's campaign. Real happy with that. Real happy with how that wrapped up as well. So good on that. I beat The Gunk, which is a game that's on Game Pass. I enjoyed it. Plus, you know what I'm saying, it just becomes a part of the service. The Gunk is you probably beat that in about 4 or 5 hours if you are at all interested in that. It's also on PC Game Pass as well. So if you're a Game Pass subscriber, check out The Gunk. It's pretty good. And today, I beat for the first time since I was a child. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Fall of the Foot Clan for the Game Boy, and I did finish that entire game today. And I was like, "Yeah, you did. That's all right by me, sir." I've been playing my analog pocket a lot. The internet has basically discovered ways of getting ROMs on there by doing some hack work to them, and it's very light hack work. So literally it's automated at this point. So I've been adding a lot of other games to it. And so today was the first time I actually hooked it up to my TV and played it because it has a dock that it can output. And that was very delightful. Grand Crew. I told y'all to watch Grand Crew. Grand Crew was very funny. I enjoyed that episode a lot.
Have you? I noticed that you weren't online today. Have you been watching Abbott Elementary?
I have not, and I actually want to get down and watch that because I love Quentin. Whew. So,
I do love Grand Crew. Abbott Elementary is so fucking funny, so funny, and Janelle James on that. like it's kind of like like the office setup, like it's a documentary.
Yeah,
But she is definitely the Dwight of the show. She is so fucking funny.
nice. Yeah,
Is
Janelle
that
James also.
is that the show I've been seeing the ads on YouTube where it's like the black principal lady?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and Janelle James is the black principal lady. She also has a currently um a half an hour on Netflix,
Yeah.
which is really funny
It
too.
it looked like a funny show from the ads I saw.
Yeah,
So between that and this Kat Dennings show, man, they might be trying to drag me into Hulu View.
Yeah,
yeah.
what's her name? Quentin Brunson, who is the star of that show, but also like writes on that show. She also has what's the old girl's name? Another former BuzzFeeder writes on that show. A lot of people, like I said, a lot of people I fuck with right now are writing and producing shows in Hollywood, and I'm down with it, which is why I like Grand Crew, and it's why I like, which is why I'm certain I'll enjoy Abbott Elementary. I think like I said, I'm off for the next few days. It's a perfect time to sit down and get caught up on shit like that there, and I most certainly will. I'm caught up on Boba Fett. This week's episode was a little. I can see it setting me up for some stuff in the future, but it was kind of eh. And
Yeah,
when you only got
I have to watch yesterday's, but I've seen the first two.
when you only got 6 episodes, I can't have you give me an episode. I need everybody. I need everybody hitting on all cylinders.
You got to be on
You know what
all
I'm saying?
cylinders.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where I'm at with that.
I'm gonna be honest, for the most part so far, I've been kind of like, eh.
This week, this one in particular,
It's like it's fine, like, but it's like I waited a year for this shit, and so far it's like I've gotten a lot of like backstory, and like I don't really care all that much.
yeah. It's like the best part about that shit was that Patton Oswalt from a clip from
Yeah,
Parks and Rec about him.
So yeah, I wonder, like, did they really like take that from? I mean, obviously it was word for word, pretty much, but like, I wonder, did they talk to the writers of Park and Rec about that?
Well, Jon Favreau is who writes this series, is the lead on this situation, and my man Happy Hogan from the Marvel movies, if y'all didn't know, and
You so money, you don't even know how money you are.
fuck. See, real was no. You know what I'm saying? But I got the feeling that that was probably intentional, and I wouldn't doubt if him and Patton are tight like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was a fun little happenstance for that show. Otherwise, Boba Fett is I'll watch it because I fuck with it, and it's only Star Wars I'm getting for the time being, so why not? But yeah. But they announced the new hot sauce lineup for Hot Ones today.
Yeah,
I'm like, cool, good to see that. Hot Ones comes back next week.
and I swear, Drake has to be on this season of Hot Ones. He has to be. He has to be after this hot sauce condom thing. And then like they gotta straight face it and not mention it the whole time.
That would be fantastic, especially if they can get a condom brand to sponsor the episode.
Yeah, by Durex, that would be dope. Yes.
Ah, sir, may that happen.
and if they don't do it for real, SNL got to do it.
Yeah, that could be a good skit.
Because they already did Beyonce.
All right, there you go, people. That has been a program. We've given you a complete and full episode. Shouts out to the real ODP who, like I said, had an emergency, had to dip out on us. That is what it is some days. Happens to the best of us. But you know what it is. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It stays crunchy. Please subscribe to our Twitch channel, Stays Crunchy and Milk, and follow us over on Twitter at SKiMpod, SKIMPOD. For the more patient amongst you, you know what I'm saying, if you feel like you want to reach out, hit us on the email. It's podcast at stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Yeah, that'd be dope. If you want to support the show financially, got a few bucks tossed away, feel free to join us over on Patreon, where members at the $5 and above tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. We've also have merch available over at tpublic.com/user/stays, Crunchy Milk, all one word. If you know some designers who are looking for some design work, send them our way by that same email address I gave you earlier. I would like to add some more designs to our T Public shop. So designers, artists, whoever people you think get what we doing over here, have them holler at us, and we will holler in turn. Feel free to give us a call 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We'd certainly love to hear from you. That's Tatum 216.
Goodbye. Good night. Good luck.
That's Slushbox 2099.
Bing bong.
Go check out his eBay store.
Hey, yo!
You might find
Won't you
something
buy
you
me
fuck
dinner?
with. Don't ever disrespect me looking like a bottle of spoiled milk. That shit is so fucking funny, man. Don't ever disrespect me. You make me laugh every time, man. That's my shit. I am the Entertainer 713. You've just been podcasting. I know you loved it. Peace.
Hey, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.